24 seconds remain here in the first period. 2-2. Lon on top, Egan on bottom. Egan with a strong contingent in the back, Andy. They're passionate out there in Smithtown.
Smithtown's had a great season this year, and Darren David Cummings, their coach, Pat Smith still helps them out. Pat Smith still helps them out a little bit. They have great staff over there at Smithtown.
You got 7 seconds left.
Time running down here in the first period. Chris Lon trying to work a move here for some back points. He will not get that, and we'll end the first period tied at 2. And Bob Panarello, the outstanding athletic director at Islip High School. You're also a successful coach at Brentwood High School for many years, Bob. You're a county wrestling champion. You know what it takes to get here. How nervous are these guys in front of this enormous crowd here at Stony Brook University?
Well, I think that nerves play a big part in the county tournament, but once these guys took the mat tonight, those nerves are gone, and right now they're going and they know what they need to do. So it's not going to play a part once the match starts.
Andy Slauson, the historian at Newsday Sports and a wrestling icon. Andy, you've also wrestled here in the county tournament. What do nerves do to the bigger guys in these tournaments? They have to wait a long time before they get out on the mat.
That plays a big part of it. They just want to get it done with. But I'll tell you, we never wrestled in a venue like this. We always held our counties in a high school gym. And I think that they have a lot more people here now than when we wrestled in high school. I mean, you have about 4,500 people here. That's a lot of people, especially for the younger guys to wrestle in front of.
Some of these guys as young as 15 years old wrestling here in the county championships for a shot to go upstate and win a state championship in Syracuse at the Onondaga War Memorial. And if they think the pressure is a lot here at Stony Brook University, guys, we know when you get up to the Onondaga War Memorial, that place is packed with over 7,000 people. And Bob, you've wrestled up there. What's that like?
Like I said, that's, you put it on the line when you get up there. There's a lot of people up there. You got to put that on. You're up there to do a job. And if you're from Section 11, you're going to represent the state well because you're from the toughest section in New York State. So I think you're pretty confident that you're going to at least be able to place up there. You'll notice Lon here is real tight on the forearms. He's trying to step through and Turk and elevate here to get 2. He's been real aggressive looking for a tilt, and so far Egan hasn't had a chance to get out.
Time running down here in the second period. Chris Lon successfully riding here the entire second period, trying to work a move for back points. We have 10 seconds remaining, and he almost pulled it off with some near fall points. And right now, Egan looking for a reversal as time is running out. 3 seconds remain, now 2.
Good recovery.
And Sean Brocking says no points. They'll go back to the same position with Lon on top. 2 seconds remain. 2-2 score here in the first period of the second period of the 96-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Yeah, that was a great counter by Lon. He was in trouble. He did a nice elevator. It was a nice move.
Bob, you'll probably see the crowd really get into it right now. This place is packed in the third period of a tied match. It's going to be crazy. It comes down to the final seconds because you know this one's going to be a barn burner in the final 30 seconds.
Here you think that he's going to have to look for a turn quick, or maybe look to cut him loose. But if he feels confident he's going to turn him, he's taking the chance. The deeper the match goes, Lon gets out. It's tougher to get a takedown with very little time and only a stolen warning on him.
With Lon's ability to ride out Egan, that was huge. If this comes down to a one-point match, that could be the difference that Egan couldn't escape on Lon. But Egan's doing a great job on top riding right now.
And like you said, Andy, Egan's been on a roll this tournament. He scored a lot of points on top, so we'll see how he fares out here.
Lon spinning behind Egan, and he gets the reversal. Grabs those 2 points, takes a 4-2 lead with a minute 18 left here in the third period of the 96-pound championship match at the Suffolk County Championships. And right now, Bob, he rode him for the entire second period, and he needs to ride him out for 1 minute here.
He's got a gable trapped on the back here. Come out and lift up his head. He's going to put him in trouble here. He's going with the straight and top. He's got a there he goes. He's going to throw in the double grapes here. He's going to extend those double grapes. It's going to be tough for Egan to get out. It looks like he's going to stick him.
And there it is. Chris Lon, Suffolk County's 96-pound wrestling champion with the pin. And he pulls out the pin in 5 minutes, 10 seconds over Sean Egan of Smithtown. And a terrific 96-pound championship match.
Yep. You'll see Coach Russo over there. Coach Russo's very excited for his wrestling. Coach Russo's been involved for a lot of years and never lose that excitement to getting that chance.
And Bobby, take us through that last move where he turned him to his back for the pin. What an outstanding move by Chris Lon, the 10th grader from Lindenhurst, and he'll be heading upstate.
Okay, here he turned him with a gable, and he put a gable on the back, and once he stepped over top, brought him to his back, he threw in the double grapes, and that was all she wrote.
And there it is, Sean Brocking pounding the mat. Our champion, Chris Lon of Lindenhurst. And we'll go over to Paul Broadmerkel now with the 96-pound champion at the Suffolk County Championships. Paul?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our 96-pound champion, Chris Lon from Lindenhurst. Chris, how's it feel to be the county champ?
Great.
I know, Chris, you had 3 pins during this tournament. How do you feel about that?
Very good. It's better when you don't have to go the full 6 minutes.
Yeah. Now, I know that when you came into the tournament, you were undefeated. Do you think that put a lot of pressure on you to continue being undefeated?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And I also know one of your best supporters is your brother. You want to make a comment on that?
Yes, he supports me everything I do. He makes me get up in the morning and go for runs, makes me go at night for runs. He just really pushes me.
A real true big brother, huh?
Yeah.
Now listen, in the finals you had a great hammerlock armbar. Did you anticipate doing that before you got him down, broken down flat?
Well, last year I pinned him with arm bars, so I wanted to go out there trying to do the same.
Hey, congratulations. You made a great tournament, and we'll see you up in Syracuse.
Barry here with Darren Goldstein, the assistant coach at Rocky Point, and Andy Slauson of Newsday. And we have a 103-pound wrestling championship. Kenny Torres, the first seed of Brentwood. He gets an early takedown on Frank Merengolo of Whitman, the 3 seed. A 103-pound championship bout. Darren, you've wrestled a long time. You're up at the Empire State Games, 14 gold medals, 13 medals in all. You know what it's like to wrestle in these championship matches. Who do you like in this match and why?
I really like Kenny Torres in this match. He has a lot of off-season experience. He's been in the finals before. I believe he was in the 96-pound final last year with his teammate Tom Finnerty, who went upstate and won the state championship as well for Suffolk County.
Kenny Torres, a runner-up last year, and Andy, we had 8 guys as the county runner-up last year looking to get a championship this year. What is that like to have to go through an entire year waiting to get back to the county championships, into the finals?
You know, guys just can't wait for that year to get over with, Greg. But, you know, we talked about this the other day. It's not a guarantee that you're going to win next year, and it's not a guarantee you'll even make it back to the finals. And a few of those kids that were runner-ups last year didn't even place in the tournament, let alone make it back to the finals.
Frank Merengolo with an escape. He now trails 2-1. Kenny Torres up 2-1 here in the 103-pound weight class of the Suffolk County Championships at Stony Brook University. And Merengolo now trying to work a move here against Kenny Torres. And it looks like Torres is tough to get inside on. Darren, he's 26-1. He's an 11th grader. He's 16 years old from Brentwood, and he's been real focused this year.
Yeah, I spoke to Kenny a lot in the off-season. He was at every tournament you can possibly imagine, working a lot in the off-season. And speaking to him just prior to the match, he said he was ready for this. It's what he's been thinking about for 365 days.
22 seconds remain here in the first period of the 103-pound weight class. Kenny Torres in the green singlet working against Frank Merengolo of Whitman. He leads 2-1 with 10 seconds left on the edge of the mat. Referee John Trisella watching the action closely as Torres tries to work a move. His time runs down to 4 seconds here in the first period of this 103-pound weight class. And Andy Slauson, I know we've seen a lot of great wrestlers come through the Suffolk County Championships, and Frank Merengolo had a terrific year. He's only 16 years old. He's a 10th grader from Whitman. He's 28-1. And I'll tell you what, we've seen a lot of underclassmen reach the finals here the last couple of years.
Well, especially with the younger weights, Greg, you have more younger kids in these lighter weights. But I'll tell you, you got to give a lot of credit to Vinny Innes and the Whitman staff. I mean, to me, Whitman wrestled outstanding in this tournament with Mike DiPaola, Jim Cadden. Here you have Frank Merengolo and Jason Mozoff, some of the lighter kids. They've done a great job in this tournament. And right now, they come into the finals in 6th place, which is their highest place finish in a long time.
Merengolo works himself out of the referee's position and into a neutral position to gain a point that is now 2-2. And Torres trying to work an upper body move here with 1:30 left in the second period of this 103-pound weight class. And Darren, it looks like Torres is looking to go upper body here against Merengolo.
A lot of freestyle and Greco-Roman experience. He competed in the Empire State Games upstate New York over the summer. I look for him right now to push the action and be aggressive, use his strength and his speed.
Torres in on a single leg, and he looks like he'll gain the takedown with 1:09 left here in the second period. Torres with a 4-2 lead. Torres of Brentwood in the green singlet, working on Frank Marangolo of Whitman. And Darren, you've wrestled a lot upstate in the Empire State Games. How much of an advantage is that for any of the wrestlers down here in Suffolk County, Nassau County, and an opportunity to wrestle during the off-season?
I think off-season wrestling is the single most important component in being successful. Most of the guys that you see wrestling for the top 6 places in Suffolk County wrestle in the off-season, some year-round program.
Marangolo again works himself into a neutral position and get a point. He now trails 4-3 with 35 seconds remaining here in the second period. And Andy, it looks like Marangolo was trying to work a lot of upper body moves. He tried to throw right there, it didn't work. Torres countered it pretty nicely and blocked that move.
I think that Marangolo right now thinks that he's got to do something, some kind of a throw. He's not going to consistently take down Torres. And if they get into a takedown battle, as you see, you know, Marangolo has 3 escapes, Torres has 2 takedowns, and another takedown here right now will put Torres in great shape going into the final period.
Final seconds of the second period. 9 seconds remaining in a 4-3 bout. Torres in the lead. Torres, the League 1 champion, facing the League 2 champion, Marangolo of Whitman. And that'll do it here at the second period. It's 4-3 Torres. And Darren, this is a big advantage here for a kid like Torres. He's quick, he can get out and get that 2-point lead. Marangolo is going to have to push the action early in the third period if he can't ride him. And that's going to be dangerous because if you make a mistake, then you're down 4 points.
Correct. So if he gets into too much trouble, Coach Aldobrando will probably tell him to cut him loose and then go with it on his feet. He's had success there a little bit. He got a takedown before, I believe.
Torres looking for the reversal. He gets it, and he's got Marangolo in trouble. He's got him on his back. 2 for the reversal, a 6-3 lead, and more from there. He's going to get to near 4 points and maybe the pin. And it's over. Kenny Torres, a year after finishing as the county runner-up, he's the 103-pound champion in Suffolk County Wrestling. He pins Frank Marangolo in 4:32. Kenny Torres, your county champion from Brentwood High School. Now we'll go to Paul Broadmerkel with our 103-pound champion, Kenny Torres. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with Kenny Torres from Brentwood, a Suffolk County champion at 103 pounds. Ken, how do you feel after this great victory today?
I feel great, you know. I can't wait to compete upstate in Syracuse. Want to thank a couple of people, you know, coaching staff, family. You know, tough, hard work gets you over here.
That's a great philosophy. Now, Ken, I want to ask you a question. Last year, you were a little disappointed here.
Yeah.
This year is a completely different story. You want to comment on that?
Well, I lost to my own teammate, you know, best friend of mine right now. He's over here, and Tom Finnerty, New York State champion. You know, hopefully I can follow after his footsteps and accomplish the same goal. You know.
That's great. Now, how do you feel about going upstate?
Can't wait, man. You know, hard work, 2 weeks. Hopefully, you know, win it. Just do something out there, make some noise. Can't wait.
Now, you had a great pin in the finals here. You came out from the bottom and you hit a drag to a pancake. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was a close match, so I was up by maybe, you know, 1 or 2, you know. And tough, strong kid, and I pulled it out.
Come see the top.
Along with Mike Tutunjian, the county champion. He's looking for his second county championship, and he'll face Tom Magnani of Islip, a state runner-up who transferred from St. Anthony's High School into Islip. And Andy, this is the match everybody's waited for all year, the premier match of the Suffolk County Championships.
Because, Greg, you have 2 state place winners coming back because Tommy came back to Islip. He wrestled for Islip as an 8th grader, then he wrestled for St. Anthony's last year. Mike Tutunjian won the counties, took 6th in the state. Tommy was a state runner-up last year, so you have 2 state place winners meeting in a county final. It doesn't happen too often.
Now, did they meet last year in the state championships?
No, they did not.
Darren, what kind of pressure, Darren Goldstein of Rocky Point, what kind of pressure is on these 2 guys here in this match?
A tremendous amount of pressure. Goes right back to what we said again, though. They're very experienced guys.
And they're in a scramble, and Magnani ends up on top with a 2-0 lead, and now he's going to cut him loose. Tutunjian will get 1 for the escape, and Magnani takes a 2-1 lead with a 1:05 left. And Andy, you had a little bit of a response to that move there.
Hey,
I don't know that you really agreed with that.
Magnani's great on his feet, but I tell you, cutting this kid loose this early, that's a statement saying, hey, I don't know if I can ride him, but I can take him down at will.
Now, Darren, there's a belief that when a wrestler can ride a guy, he can squeeze the life out of him and take a lot of the strength away from him by riding him out in a period. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, but in this case, Magnani is very strong on his feet. It's the strength of his wrestling, and his biggest match his career so far, I would imagine that he wants to go with the strength.
Hey guys, have you noticed that Tunjan twice now has been in deep on a single, and Magnani counted it the first time to get two, and this time they went out of bounds. So Tunjan's there. He's getting in deep on that shot. There it is a third time again.
Good call, Andy. The third time Tunjan's in deep on a single, and again Magnani counters, and it looks like he's trying to get away from that. Darren, when you have two technically correct and efficient wrestlers such as Magnani and Tunjan, it's very difficult to score. When they don't score, but they also have a situation where you can counter and move and score points on the counter.
Well, these are two very evenly matched wrestlers, and in a case like you just said, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to make that little mistake.
First period winding down, 5 seconds. A 2-1 lead for Magnani. He's in on a single, but it looks like time will run out, and referee Ken Sellen blows the whistle. They'll end the first period 2-1. Magnani leads. It was a good first period. Both wrestlers doing what they do best. Magnani countering the offensive of Tunjan, and it looks like it's going to go down to the wire this one.
You know what's great about this? Here you have two defending, state place winners. These guys aren't freezing up. They're coming right after each other. There's no playing games here. These guys are really opening up.
Well, Magnani will start in the on-top position here at the start of the second period in the 112-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Championship. And Tunjan trying to get the escape. Magnani staying in control, stays on top of the mat.
He's not cutting him loose this time. Now he's trying to ride him. Magnani rides great on top. His brother Lucas was awesome. 3-time state finalist. I mean, nobody got out on that kid. Not the Long Island kids anyway. And now Magnani's going to make him pay. He's going to try and ride him and beat him up a little bit on top.
Mike Tunjan of Longwood in the green single, looking for another shot upstate. He took 6th last year in the state tournament. He was the county champion last year at 103 pounds. He works his way to his feet and he escapes. Score is now tied at 2 with a minute 15 left here in the 112-pound bout. And right away, Magnani goes for the takedown. Both wrestlers locked up, not making any mistakes. The 2-time league champ, Mike Tunjan from Longwood. He's 17 years old with a career record of 106-14. He's a senior. This is his last shot at the state title. Darren, Magnani is only 16 years old. He's in 10th grade. He's 30-1 this year. He hasn't been tested much. I'll tell you what, he looks real good today. He's in on a single there.
As a strength.
Good counter by Tunjan. Still no points. Looks like he's going to get him here, and he does. 2-point takedown for Tom Magnani, the 10th grader from Islip High School, and he takes a 4-2 lead with 35 seconds left. And Darren, does he try to ride him out for the final 30 seconds?
For the final 30 seconds, absolutely, I would try to ride him out.
Now, you coached at times in Longwood. You're Rocky Point now. You've been at Mount Zion. Have you ever coached Tunjan?
Yes, I was Mike Tunjan's coach actually all throughout his high school career up until this past season when I went to Rocky Point.
What are his strengths?
He's very good on his feet. Of course, when you have two guys who are equally as impressive in the same part, someone's going to come out on top. I think Magnani might be a little bit better on his feet right now. Mike is also a very good rider. He's tenacious, never stops.
Tom Magnani, the League 4 Suffolk County champion, on top, in control, up 4-2 here in the 112-pound bout with 10 seconds remaining. Mike Tunjan looking for a reversal here in 2 points. Magnani holding on as time ticks away in the second period. Ken Sellen all over the action as time expires. And Magnani will hold the 4-2 lead heading into the third period. And we'll see that Tom Magnani takedown once again. And Darren, take us through what happened right here.
He's controlling that with a Russian, snaps him right down to the mat, and a go behind, I think, is what it amounts to. Snaps into the leg, trips it back, drives forward, head in good position, limp arms right out, comes right around the back, drops him down to his knees.
Staying with that move, and he just stayed with it the whole way like a bulldog, like a guy trying to make a tackle.
It was the same exact thing 3 times over, came up at the winning end of it.
He's been awesome. Since he was a junior high kid, watching him a couple of years ago, and he's great on his feet. And most of the time, the guys that win the close matches in the county finals are the guys who dominate on their feet. We've seen it time and time again.
We had a 38-second blood timeout for a little bit of a nosebleed with Tom Magnani. They took care of it. He took a little sip of Gatorade, and we're ready to go here in the third period. Tom Magnani on bottom from Islip in the black Islip singlet. Mike Tunjan on top, the defending county champion, trying to hold on and win another county championship. He trails the sophomore from Islip 4-2 here in the 112-pound weight class.
Greg, if Tom Magnani escapes right here, Tutunjan's in a lot of trouble. That's a big deficit to come back from 3 against the kid so good this late in the match.
Magnani looking for 2, and they go to the outer line. And Darren, what's he trying to do right here?
He's trying to pull him back in and then trip him through.
And he gets the 2 on the reversal. And I'll tell you what, that's a 6-2 lead. That's tough to make up 4 points. Tutunjan is going to need a big move here, reversal and back points, if he wants to pull out this championship bout.
And if there's anybody in Suffolk that can do it, it is Mike Tutunjan. We've seen him do that time and time again. So you can't let up if you're Tom Magnani for a second until that final whistle blows.
You have a minute and 1 second left. If you're Tom Magnani, you have to keep going and going and going and pushing.
You wouldn't expect anything less from Tom Magnani, the defending Catholic state champion who transferred in from St. Anthony's and now wrestles at Islip. His lone loss this year, Andy, where was it?
It was to Sean Riley, 5'3", in a dual meet between Islip and Huntington, one of the best dual meets I've ever watched.
We'll see Sean Riley in the 119-pound championship match, and Sean Riley has been nothing short of unbelievable this season. Magnani riding Tutunjan with under a minute to go here in the 3rd period of the 112-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Championships. Tutunjan trying to hold on and reverse and get behind Magnani. Magnani driving his hips into Tutunjan, staying in control. Right now, he's in a little bit of trouble, Darren.
But he's out of bounds, so he's not going to give up any back points, but he gets 1 for the escape. I would look for Mike Tutunjan right now to try to force the action up a body, try to look for a throw.
And that's a great call by Kenny Sellen, who's been an official in Suffolk for 46 years. This is his 40th Section 11 tournament, and he's an outstanding official.
Tutunjan in deep on a takedown. He gets the 2, and he's down 6-5 on that takedown. He lets him loose. Magnani leads 7-5. He cut him loose, and I'll tell you what, we got 18 seconds left here, and Tutunjan going for the takedown and the tie, and he'll push the action here with 10 seconds left. Magnani trying to hold on. And there it is, Darren. He went for the move, and I don't think he got it. They're called out of bounds. They're going to go back to the neutral position. And what did he do there? He tried for that move right there for that.
He tried for an arm drag. He tried to scoot on by. Magnani sort of caught him down, but nobody had control, so no one was awarded any points, and they scooted out of bounds.
You'll see every once in a while, Tom Magnani look up at the clock. He knows the situation. He knows how much time's left in each period.
Final 4 seconds. Mike Tutunjan going for the takedown. He won't get it. And they'll give 2 points to Tom Magnani on the takedown. And he is the 112-pound wrestling champion here in Suffolk County in a great match. 9-5, your winner, sophomore Tom Magnani. And he'll make the return trip up to the state championships, this time in his Section 11 uniform, the navy blue of Section 11, and not as a Catholic League representative. A great match. Mike Tutunjan falls short. 6th place finisher in the state last year and a county runner-up this year. Nothing to be ashamed of, Darren. What a great year for Mike Tutunjan.
Great career, great wrestler. I'm sure he'll continue to wrestle in the freestyle season, then onward to college. But take nothing away from both these guys, both champions.
We'll join Paul Brodmerkel with our 112-pound champion right now.
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 112-pound county champion, Tom Magnani from Islip. Tom, how you feel about this match today?
I feel all right about it. You know, it's a good win. Mike Tutunjan, obviously, very tough competitor. You know, I would have, been happier with a little bit of a better win, a little more of a margin. But it's a good win. Qualifier for the state tournament, obviously. Go up there, look to do some damage.
Well, you had a great, you had a really tough match. Your first match yesterday, the opening match, you won 10-8. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, well, everyone, it's a crazy tournament. Anything can happen here. So, there's 100 good matches. The first match is usually, a lot of stuff happens. So
it certainly is your toughest match usually. Right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You came back right after that with an 8-0 decision and then a 10-3 decision, and you won real big in the finals here tonight, 9-5. Outstanding job. Any predictions upstate? Well,
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm feeling good right now. See if I'll be ready to go in 2 weeks. Get another shot up there. I was there last year. Didn't exactly do as good as I would like, but
well, you were runner-up last year, so you have the experience. You have the feeling of being in the state championship. So good luck up there, and hopefully you'll bring back the gold medal here to Long Island.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Blue Devils, and he goes right after Sean Knapp of Bayshore, wrestling in the maroons. Sean Knapp of Bayshore, kind of a Cinderella tournament, 96-21 in his career, 17 years old. a senior at Bayshore. He comes in unseeded after not winning his league tournament. And Andy, you're familiar with Sean Knapp. He's down 2-0 to Riley. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, you know, the Knapp and wrestling is synonymous with the name Knapp is synonymous with wrestling in Bayshore. His grandfather, Bill Knapp, and Jump Allegio started the first kid wrestling program in the eastern United States. Bill Knapp was a Long Island runner-up in 1946 and 47. Billy's father and all of his brothers, his uncles, were all place winners. Sean's uncles and his father were all county place winners in the 70s and the 80s. He comes from a great wrestling tradition.
You know, that's what the sport is all about. It's all about families and wrestling. It's a family sport. Jim, you know a lot about that. You're a terrific wrestler yourself, and all your sons had quite good careers here.
Yeah, it's been a long trip, a long road, and it's been one enjoyable one. It goes back about 30 years for me with my own children and my experience at Longwood. So it's been nothing but great memories.
You know, I look at you, and I got to say this: when I broke in with the wrestling community was in the late '80s, and I'll never forget Timmy Matias, your oldest son, and he was quite a wrestler from Newfield High School.
I recall. That's my first encounter with you. He knew you, and it was a good relationship from that point forward.
Sean Riley leading 2-1 here in the first period with a minute left at 119 pounds. Riley wrestling in the white singlet from Huntington. And I'll tell you what, Andy, it's often you see these Huntington Blue Devils here in the finals. I mean, is there any better coach than Lou Gianni?
No. Lou Gianni has been the coach now 33 years at Huntington. He has 52 Suffolk County champions. And, you know, for Sean Riley, he took third in the county 2 years ago as a freshman. Last year he was 17-0. And this year he is 31-1. His only loss was to a kid from Waverly in the Windsor tournament upstate. He's a fantastic wrestler.
Sean Riley, 31-11 in his career, an 11th grade junior. He's had a terrific season this year. He's unbeaten here in Suffolk County.
Actually,
he had a huge win over Tom Magnani in that dual meet that Huntington beat Islip 25-24.
And you know, it shows the difference. You have two good, evenly matched kids. Magnani, the 12-pounder, went up and lost to the big 19-pounder. Actually, I think that Riley's record is about 75-4. I think he only has 4 losses in his career.
Well, you surprised that Lou Gianni filled his sheet out wrong?
No, well, Lou didn't fill the sheet out. I won't tell you who did.
Jim, you surprised?
Oh, no, not at all.
I love the fact that you know, everything to him is, you know what, we're wrestling, we're in our room. It's called the Huntington Mystique.
I'm telling you, you look at these wrestlers and you look at the moves they perform, it's like out of this world. You say, here comes something, and all of a sudden it's counted.
And all of them are classy kids. They're all professional. I mean, they just exude that in Huntington, and it's a class program. He's done an unbelievable job out there, and he has a lot to be proud of.
Well, being on the coaching end, when you have kids come up to you after the match is over and they shake your hand like a gentleman, it's always well appreciated.
You know, I always laugh when you mention that Huntington Mystique. I really do. You know, it's not like Lou Gianni waves a magic wand. The man is brilliant when it comes to wrestling, and Huntington outworks a lot of people. And Lou can look at things entirely different than another coach and pick up something that even guys that are great coaches don't pick up. But don't forget, Lou Gianni was an Olympian himself. He was a 2-time national champion, and that has a lot to do with how he conducts his practices.
Now, Jim, what was Sean Knapp trying to do there? It looked like he got himself into a stalemate.
He was looking to latch onto the crotch and throw it up over the top, or just secure it so that it ended up within a stalemate, and which it did.
In a situation like that, is that because Riley might be stronger than him and he can't pull him off?
No, it's because he's found himself in a predicament where better to hold on and just wait for the referee to move on to another chapter.
Now, Sean Knapp has come unseeded through the tournament, winning his first match 4-3 over Sal Ianello of Pompog, and then coming through with the pin and a 6-3 win over Chris Rayner of Riverhead. Sean Riley's pretty much had his way through the tournament, pretty much the way he's had his way all season, but he's in a battle right now. He leads 2-1. Looks like he's looking for a reversal here.
He is so quick and so explosive. And for Knapp to beat Riley, he's going to have to keep this real close, you know, until the end of the match.
Referee Danny Harrell awards a single point for the neutral for the escape, and it'll be 3-1 Riley right now. Mike Porcelli in the corner. The dashing man with the bald head. I mean, he is unbelievable perpetual motion in the corner. I mean, he works as hard as the wrestlers.
Well, he's a former state champ from Bayshore. I was his workout partner. I was the dummy he threw around in the room for 2 years.
Literally?
Wow.
Literally. I'm not embarrassed to admit that.
That explains a lot of things. You know what? I'm sure he's thrown a lot of people around in his career. He's a big man. Sean Riley with 30 seconds left here in the second period of the 119-pound wrestling championship. Action is stopped.
And Knapp tried to hit that dump that he's used so many times to put people on their backs in this tournament.
28 seconds left here in the second period. Riley leads 3-1. Riley in the white singlet from Huntington over Knapp from Bayshore.
Knapp is such a scrambler that you never know what's going to happen, even with 15 seconds left. I mean, he'll get into a situation where all of a sudden he ends up on top. I've watched a lot of his matches this tournament, and a lot of that works that way for him.
And that's got to worry coaches because it's a dangerous wrestler.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's wrestled outstanding throughout this tournament, as you said. And, you know, he's wrestled some great competition this year, toughen him up for this tournament.
That'll do it for the second period here in the 119-pound weight class of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. Sean Riley, the top seed, he leads Sean Knapp 3-1 heading into the third period. Knapp will start on bottom. Riley in control on top. And what does he do here, Jim? Does he go for a reversal?
This is what you got to think about strategy here now. What do you want Sean Knapp to do? Do you want him to reverse and have to ride out the period? Doesn't seem anybody's turning anybody to their back at this point. Or do you want an escape and look for the takedown? If I'm coaching a kid, I want him to get his one.
You got to do anything you can to score first.
Absolutely.
But you're all looking for one, and hopefully you get a late takedown and win 4-3.
Because a reversal is only going to make him, is forcing him to ride the man out, only to go to your feet again in the overtime.
And that's hard to do against a great wrestler for 2 minutes.
Sean Knapp, a senior, on bottom, trailing 3-1 here with a minute 30 left in the third period. He's a senior from Bayshore, a four-time League Two runner-up. He'd like nothing more than to pull out a big upset over Sean Riley of Huntington. And right now, Jimmy, Riley looks like he's running a bar arm on him.
Yes, he was. And it just loosened up. He slipped his arm out. So that was fortunate for him. It gives him another life.
And Huntington rides those bars great. They're notorious for that. And that's one thing, you know, I've always talked about with Coach Gianni. No one, and I mean no one, Jim, you know this, rides better than the Huntington guys.
Absolutely. What you need here for the top wrestler, if he wants to secure his win, is to continue to drive the man forward so he keeps him off his base. And he's doing a marvelous job of this right now. If Knapp cannot get to his base, he's not going to make it to score any points.
45 seconds remain here in the third period. Sean Riley of Huntington leads Sean Knapp of Bayshore 3-1 as time ticks away on the final season for Sean Knapp. Coach Mike Porcelli of Bayshore asking the officials exactly what is Riley doing other than riding his man out. Jimmy, do you see a stall there or not?
Unfortunately, I think Riley's just trying to get his man back to the mat, and he might be killing a little bit of time, but that's the nature of the game. You look to use the time as wisely as you can.
And that's all part of it, because you can give up a late escape, and that's okay. You can win the match 3-2.
22 seconds remain. Sean Riley on top. He leads 3-1 here in the 119-pound bout.
At this point, Greg, you're asking your wrestler to reverse. You don't want an escape anymore. Now you want your reversal.
Now he got caught inside. He almost got cradled right there, and there'll be a stoppage. 15 seconds remain here in the third period of the 119-pound bout. Sean Riley in the white singlet leads Sean Knapp. 3-1. Knapp trying to roll out from underneath, and Riley stays in control. 7 seconds remain. Riley trying to hang on to the 119-pound crown. Knapp furiously trying to get that reversal to tie this match and send it into overtime. And we'll go. 7 seconds remain. Knapp trying to roll out. Riley holding on.
You see how Riley
gets that
extends
cradle.
himself.
He misses the cradle, but time will run out.
Knows.
And Sean Riley of Huntington, your 119-pound wrestling champion, he wins it 3-1 over Sean Knapp of Bayshore. A game Sean Knapp, who just didn't have enough to get away from Sean Riley there in the third period.
Well, it's like Andy said, if I'm your coach, I'm telling you to clamp on. That's a perfect example of what you just saw.
4 championship bouts gone here in the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. 3 of them won by the top seeds and won by number 2 seed Tom Magnani at 112 pounds. We're going to go over and check out Sean Riley, Huntington's 119-pound champion, right now with Paul Broadmerkel.
Thanks, guys.
Ramada, the top seed from Half Follow Hills East. He'll come in undefeated, and he'll do that with a 35-0 record. He'll take on Tony Sebastopoli of Lindenhurst, the 2 seed. And here in this 125-pound bracket, the top 2 seeds came out, Jim Matthias. And what do we expect here in this bout?
Well, what you just saw was a Russian arm that Sebastopoli was able to work himself out of. Right now, they're just scrambling, looking for positions, seeing who's got weak spots, and how can I set my man up.
Now, these two met earlier in the season, and Steve Ramada told me that he beat Sebastopoli 16-4 at the Iceland Cup in the semifinal round. But he says it doesn't matter. You're in a county championship match, and everybody out here is out to win. And what happened in the past doesn't matter.
The biggest mistake that you can make in this tournament is to underestimate somebody you've already wrestled.
And
it's happened many times this tournament.
And I can assure you that in this case, he knows that Tony Sebastopoli is a very good wrestler. He's done a very good job to get to the championship round here. And he's well aware of it, Stephen Ramada, that he could lose this match if he doesn't focus and wrestle well.
You know, Stephen Ramada went to Chaminade as a freshman, was a Catholic state champion, went to the public school states, didn't place, came back to Hills East the last 2 years, and you know, he's been behind some good guys, Pat Flynn and Rob Vaccaro, state champions, and I think this year, this kid is on a mission. He's the most dominant wrestler I've seen in Section 11 this year.
Ramada takes a 2-0 lead. He's in control with the 2-0 lead here with 48 seconds left in the first period. Sebastopoli in the green singlet. He escapes for a 2-1 deficit with 40 seconds left here in the 125-pound weight class.
And Ramada...
Tony Sebastopoli in the green singlet. Stephen Ramada in the black with the blue knee pad. And Andy?
That was a great move by Ramada to cut loose Sebastopoli because he got caught out of position a little bit. So he says, you know what, I'm going to give him one instead of giving him two. And, you know, this kid is such a smart wrestler as well as a physical wrestler. He's going to be a tough task for Tony to beat tonight.
Hey, Jimmy, I give Ramada a lot of credit. He told me earlier today that he left Chaminade knowing he could have won 4 state championships in the Catholic schools. As we see a takedown there and an ankle pick, he goes up 4-1 as the first period comes to an end. Sean Brocking with the stoppage. And we'll go into the second period. Top-seeded Steve Ramada with a 4-1 lead on Lindenhurst's Tony Sebastopoli. And Jimmy, right now, Ramada seems to be in control technically and able to do pretty much whatever he wants.
Well, in coaching, we call those were bad points that were just given up by the Lindenhurst wrestler.
We're going to take a look at that. We're going to see that last takedown. It looked like an ankle pick. And why don't you like this as a coach? Is it because he loses his focus here?
Well, the time frame left in the period was so short that it made a big gap in the score. Going into the second period 2-1 is a world of difference than 4-1 because it changes your strategy in the last 2 periods, what you've got to do.
And changing the complexion of the match, Stephen Ramada did like a bulldog, jumping on top of him, securing him for the last 5 seconds, and he leads 4-1 here to start the second period. Steve Ramada in the down position. Tony Sebastopoli riding to the right as Brocking starts the action. Ramada out from the bottom. He gets a point for the escape. He now leads 5-1 in hard on a single. I'll tell you what, lightning quick, huh, Jim?
His technique, his speed are all there. He's wrestling like a county finalist, and it's just tough for Sebastopoli to deal with this now.
He gains the 2, up 7-1 is Stephen Ramada. Timeout. We have timeout for a bloody nose, and they'll stuff it with gauze as the people on the Half Hollow Hills bench will take care of it. Mark Rodman of Elite Sports in quickly with the gauze. And we're ready to go here again. Steve Ramada back on the mat. He's greeted by Tony Sebastopoli. The two will get down. Sean Brocking looking to see who's in the up position and who's in control. Make sure everything's right. And it looks like Ramada's going to cut him loose. He went with the diamond, Jimmy. Why do they do that?
Well, they're indicating to the referee that they intend to do the optional start. That doesn't mean they have to let him go.
And now you see Ramada with a quick takedown. Goes up 9-2.
He's obviously recognized where he's in his strongest position, and it looks like he's going to continue with this pattern.
You know, I asked him earlier, I said, you haven't been able to pin anybody in the tournament. You've been winning by technical fall. And he said, well, what do you think's tougher, winning by technical fall or by pin? I said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, I think technical fall is much harder because you need to be on your guy 4 or 5 minutes and using a lot of different moves and controlling the match. And believe it or not, when you're in the Suffolk County Championships, nobody wants to get pinned, so they're as hard as it gets.
Well, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't want to get pinned, and I don't want to get tech falled either.
You know what? But when you keep cutting a guy, and if you don't ride a kid all year long, if you don't ride whoever your opponents are all year long, that's going to cost you big time when you get up to the state, because you got to be able to go all 3 positions, top, bottom, and on your feet. And a lot of times, if you can't ride, that's the difference of, you know, giving up a point or not getting that point.
We have another stoppage here. Looks like Ramada's being attended to by Mark Rodman. He was poked in the eye inadvertently, and he also has a problem with the nose. They fixed his nose. They got the gauze back in. Looks like he's just got a little bit of a poke in the eye there, right, Jim?
Yeah. What I'm impressed with Steve Ramada is that he's out there super confident. It's in his eyes. He's confident. He knows what he wants to do, and he's doing it.
That's a great point, Jim. And like I said before, this kid looks like the most dominant wrestler in Suffolk County this year. And he's probably Section 11, if he wins this match, probably will be Section 11's best chance for a state championship next week.
Stephen Ramada of Hills East with 40 seconds left here in the second period. He leads in the black singlet from Half Follow Hills East. He leads 9-3 with 30 seconds remaining. And for Ramada, this has got to be a good feeling. He's up 9-3. He's in control. He won the Catholic States in the year of 2000, came to Suffolk County, took 4th as a sophomore in 2001, and then 3rd last year as a junior. And this was his goal, to finally win a Suffolk County title and head up to Syracuse. He's got a high school record of 119-11, and he got to work out with 2-time Section 11 champion Angelo Zigarelli this year, the 1995 New York State champion. 10 seconds remaining here in the second period. 11-3 Ramada leaves in the 125-pound final over Tony Sebastopoli of Lindenhurst. And that'll do it. The end of the second period. 11-3 Steve Ramada, the undefeated Steve Ramada. Ramada's going to cut him loose. Now, Jimmy doesn't get awarded the point there because he really didn't give him a chance to get away, right?
No point awarded, but that's what I said a moment ago, is he indicates that he's going to let him go, but in some cases he doesn't. It's called a quick cradle. He's hopping on top, try to clamp it up and turn the man.
Now, if you have a lazy opponent and he thinks you're just letting him get away and he turns slowly, that's when you can jump in and get that cradle.
Absolutely.
Tony Sebastopoli, 26-5 this year. He's 17 years old, a senior at Lindenhurst. Having a difficult time with Steve Ramada. He trails 11-4. Ramada controlling the action. And with 5 takedowns and 1:30 left in the third period. And Andy Slauson, Steve Ramada is one of those guys this year. It's really tough to
He is awesome, but you know what? You got to give Sebastopoli credit, as you do all of the kids that make it to the finals of this tournament. Tony Sebastopoli beat 3 all-county wrestlers to get here, including Chris Darrow of Riverhead, who's an outstanding wrestler. And we got to give credit to all of these kids, because it's a fight and a battle and a war every time you step on the mat just to make it to the Section 11 finals. And you got to give credit to Ronnie Frohl and Joe Russo, the coaches at Lindenhurst. They've done a great job with the time that they've been there. Joe's been their head coach over 20 years, produced many county champions. He's an outstanding official in freestyle, and Lindenhurst has an outstanding wrestling program from going back many years.
As we watch action late in the third period of the 125-pound weight class, Steve Ramada, who's tech-falled his way to the finals, doing an unbelievable job on Tony Sebastopoli. He leads 19-7 with 30 seconds remaining here in the championship bout. And Ramada just technically too tough for Sebastopoli. Tony Sebastopoli not giving up. Jim, he's coming right back at him, trying to hang in there. As time ticks down, that's got to be tough to lose in the county finals.
Well, you know, you're a spectacle in front of 5,000 people, and you got to live with the results also. So he doesn't want to give up, and unfortunately, his opponent is technically excellent on his feet.
Both had great seasons, and it'll end right here, 23-10. Steve Ramada, the 125-pound wrestling champion in Suffolk County, and Tony Sebastopoli, a great season, 2 excellent wrestlers. And there he is, Stephen Ramada, the 125-pound champion,
Absolutely
a 23-10 winner here at Stony Brook University. And we're going over to Paul Brodmerkel right now with our champion, Steve Ramada of Half Hollow Hills East.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Steve Ramada, our 125-pound county champ. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'd like to thank my coaches Tom Mignani, Angelo Zigarelli, and Frank Palumbo for a great season, and it's not over yet.
That's great. Now, Steve, you took third place here last year. How did that compare to, obviously, this year winning it?
Well, I used it as a motivational tool for this year, and whenever I got tired, I just kept pushing myself, and can't wait till the state tournament next week, 2 weeks.
Now, Steve, I want to ask you about the beginning of the season. You broke your foot, correct? And you missed the first couple of weeks of the season?
Yeah, I injured myself a little bit, and I just came back, pushed through it, and I'm here now winning county tournament.
Well, you not only won the county tournament, but you did a great job. I don't think anyone scored anything other than an escape point on you the entire tournament. Is that correct?
Yeah, I work not to get scored on, and I only give them an escape, working on my technique on top and neutral position takedowns.
Now we're going to really put you on the spot. Can you take down Coach Zigarelli?
I'm not going to say it on national TV right now, but...
well, you had a fabulous tournament, a wonderful, wonderful tournament. Good luck at the States next week, 2 weeks in Syracuse. And we'll be right back here to the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships here at Stony Brook University after the
University here, a packed house at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships, and we are at 130 pounds. Greg Sarah of Newsday, joined by my friends Bob Panarello of Islip, the athletic director at Islip High School, and Darren Goldstein, the assistant coach at Rocky Point Wrestling. And guys, we have a very unique match here. Bobby, two unseeded wrestlers getting through to the finals for the 130-pound championship and a trip upstate.
Well, you're right, Greg. These guys, just because they're unseeded, that means they didn't win the league championship, but that doesn't mean they're quality wrestlers. And you got to come here and you got to string 3 matches in a row, 3 quality matches to get to the finals, which both of these guys have done. They both have 4 losses, so it looks like it's going to be an evenly match, even match for the finals, and we're looking to see what happens.
Matt Scott of Riverhead, he's working in the blue singlet. He'll go against Charlie Taylor of Amityville. Taylor on bottom right now in the black singlet. And right now it looks, Darren, like Matt Scott's got a little bit of the advantage trying to work the takedown.
Yeah, he actually came up with the 2, and now he's in the position where I guess Taylor's trying to hit a Granby roll, and he's countering it well. A lot of poise for the 10th grader.
Matt Scott leading 2-0 here. He in the blue singlet, and stalemate called by referee John Trusello. 2-0. Riverhead's Matt Scott leads, and Matt Scott's had quite a tournament, Bob. He's really come through. He's pounded some people on the way.
Yeah, like you said, Greg, you got to have a great tournament to be here, but I think Darren will agree with me. You're going to see a lot of points in this match. This is not going to be, a 3-2 match. This is going to be a high-scoring match.
Matt Scott, by way, was here a 3-1 overtime winner against the top seed Gavin Johansson. He also won 11-3 over Kings Park's Andrew Tuorto. He's had some tournaments, as has Charlie Taylor, also unseeded out of Amityville. He actually pinned Marcus Sterling of Copeg in the semifinals in 5:57. And I know, Darren, that really ignited the crowd this morning in the semifinals when Sterling was stuck. Charlie Taylor's as tough as they come from Amityville.
Certainly is. Very offensive, hits a nice dump. Just got stuck though onto his back. Got caught making a sloppy move. And once again, Scott is capitalized. Taylor coming out of the back.
Matt Scott with a huge move here at the end of the first period. He'll pick up 2 points for the takedown, 2 for the near fall, and he'll take a 6-1 lead into the second period. And Bobby, you said you're going to see a lot of points. Don't be surprised if Charlie Taylor comes right back here in the second period.
No, I wouldn't, Greg. These guys, a lot of these guys, like I said, I give Taylor a lot of credit there. He got caught, his arm was trapped underneath. He had a nice bridge and pummeled through, and then he got out. And like I said, I think a lot of these guys with the step overs and the high turn-ins that they're doing, a lot more points are going to be scored.
Charlie Taylor earned his 101st career win this morning in the semifinals. He is a 5-time League 5 place winner, a senior, 17 years old, and has a 27-4 record this year. He'll start on bottom in the second period. Matt Scott trying to hold on. Scott, only a sophomore.
Nice lat whip.
Big
nice
move.
lat whip. He steps over. He steps over. He could be in trouble with the double grapes. Great
nice
counter. Great counter.
Action-packed second period, minute 35 left and no points. All that action and no points. And neither guy was able to finish a move.
Well, Scott made a nice counter on the re-roll, stopping Taylor, who had a nice lat whip in the beginning. Came up on top and gave up no points in the whole process.
Yeah, it was just a matter of, like I said, Darren, he stepped up top and almost threw those double grapes in, and once you secure those, you know, you might as well turn out the lights, but he couldn't secure it, and he right back, and, you know, like Greg said, no points.
This one's far from over, fellas. 1:18 left in the second period of the 130-pound weight class.
Look at that.
Charlie Taylor throws Matt Scott to his back. Huge move, and he's locked him up. This could be it. Trusello looking in. Scott trying to fight his way out. He trails 6-5, maybe 6-6. He may be tied up right now. 2 for the reversal, and what a move.
Yeah, Taylor turned in, and Scott pushed right into him, and he, you know, nice lateral drop right to his back. Just couldn't secure the pin, but these guys are going at it.
Amityville's Charlie Taylor with the 5-point move. Ties the score at 6 with 50 seconds remaining here in the second period. And I'll tell you what, you got 5,000 oohs on that move.
Back on their feet.
Scott breaks away. He'll get an escape point. It's 7-6 with 34 seconds left in the second period, and that was an outstanding throw.
Absolutely.
Expect more fireworks.
Yeah, he pushed right. He turned right away, pushed in, and beautiful lateral.
We're going to take a look at that move right now on a replay. And Bobby, give us a view of this.
Well, he turned right in, and Taylor from Amityville comes with the lateral. He pushed a little too much, secured him up. But again, these guys, like I said, they're trying to secure a fall. He was very close, okay, and these guys are very strong to get out. Very close there.
Hey guys, you know what? This event has been a monster event for the last 2 days, and we got to throw it out to Anthony Bonavita of Stony Brook University and his staff. These guys in security have done a fantastic job keeping the crowd calm, keeping everybody where they belong. Nobody's been walking around where they shouldn't be. These guys do a great job. Ray Gruby and all the boys from the CCS security. I tell you what, a shout out to them. They make this event fun and they make it safe for everybody. Back to the action. 20 seconds left here in the second period of the 130-pound weight class. And Charlie Taylor with a huge move gets himself back in this match. He's trailing 7-6. He's trying to get in on a takedown as Matt Scott tries to get away. And it looks like he's going to get that 2 points. Yes, and he will. He'll get those 2 points to take an 8-7 lead at the end of the second period. I'll tell you what, that was just sloppy wrestling, Bobby.
Yeah, well, I think he caught him a little bit off balance. I think they kind of butted heads a little bit. You got Scott backing up a little bit, and he dropped to the ankles. I think he just caught Scott off guard.
Very aggressive Charlie Taylor, and Matt Scott got, he was like a football shot, but it was an incidental headbutt. It wasn't on purpose.
That's true. With 1 second left, and they're going to end it right there.
They'll give him that 1 second. It'll be 8-7 as we head into the third period here at the 130-pound bout of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. And how do you rebound from this? I mean, it's starting to get away from Matt Scott, Darren. He had a 6-1 lead, and now he's down 8-7. What does he need to do? He needs to get out, obviously, right away.
Well, he needs to focus on the fact that he is only down by 1 point. He gets up on his feet, and it's like the match just started there. It's 8-8, and he scored the first 3 points, so there's no reason why he can't score the next 3.
And Darren's right, but you know, this game is a mental game, and if you guys can remember 2 years ago, we had a Palacios from Huntington and McCoy from North Babylon. The match, I believe, was 9-1 at the end of the first period with McCoy leading, and that lead wasn't safe. He wound up losing in overtime, so a lot of things can happen out here.
Matt Scott ties it at 8 with the escape with 1:40 left here in the third period of the 130-pound bout. A stoppage in the action. He'll go back to the center of the mat in the neutral position. Matt Scott and Charlie Taylor. And right now, the older Charlie Taylor, the senior, is taking it to the youngster. Matt Scott has come back from a 6-1 deficit to tie it at 8 with 1:25 left. And Scott trying to get in, and Darren looks like he's going to get his 2.
Nice drag, but Taylor's countering. He has the arm around the waist, and if he still has that there, he'll be able to counter this and get out without giving up points.
And he will. He'll counter the move, and he'll avoid the 2 points. And Bob, there'll have to be said for that right there.
Yeah, great hips.
Wrestling.
Great hips. Like Darren said, he kept that arm between his body. Once he steps around, he'll award the 2. You know, he arm blocked him and he turned and face. He's got great hips, a great position, great mat awareness. Yeah, well, these 2 coaches deserve a lot of credit. As myself and Darren, who've been coaching for a while, we realize to get your program to these levels, it takes a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of breaks. But in this tournament, you kind of make your own breaks, and these coaches have done a great job with these both 2 teams.
1 minute remaining in the third period of this 130-pound weight class. Championship bout of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships here at Stony Brook University. And this one will go down to the final seconds. 50 seconds remaining. Both guys feeling each other out a little bit right here. Nobody making a move in the last 15 seconds. How do you get tight, or do you go after it?
Well, if I'm Taylor, I keep working, try to get inside control, look for my dump or my high crotch that I've been successful with. Scott's really countered all the shots, so Taylor has to make sure that he hits a clean shot and takes him down.
25 seconds remain. Matt Scott from Riverhead in the blue. Charlie Taylor in on a single, not deep enough. Scott trying to counter for the 2 points.
Scott looking for the butt drag. He's got the ankle and he's got the near side hook. He's trying to step around.
14
it's a matter
seconds.
of tough. The last thing he should be doing is looking at the clock. He's got to bring him to the mat to secure. He may get 1 point to fleeing the mat.
5
He's
seconds.
got it. 1 point, fleeing the mat.
Charlie Taylor hit with 1 point for fleeing the mat by referee John Trusello. He now trails 9-8 with 5 seconds remaining. Matt Scott backing up, holding off Taylor as time ticks down here in this 130-pound final, and it's over. A 9-8 win for sophomore Matt Scott of Riverhead, Suffolk County's 130-pound champion from Riverhead. And I don't know, guys, that's a tough call to make in the final 5 seconds.
Well, we're not going to disagree. That's a tough way to lose a county championship.
We're going to take a look at that replay and see if that was the right call. 9-8, Matt Scott, your winner from Riverhead, and here it is.
Well, that's the end right there.
That's the end of the bout. We're looking at wow, the crowd is not happy with that. They're booing, and they're not booing Matt Scott or his effort from Riverhead. They're unhappy with the referee's call, and so is Billy Mizell.
Right.
He is not happy with
well,
that
you know,
call.
it's a tough call to make. It's a position where the referees don't want to put themselves in, but if they feel the wrestler has nowhere else to go but directly out of bounds, okay, then he has the right to go out of bounds. If they feel he's got a way to get back inside and avoid the hold, then he should be doing that.
Then that's a good call.
Obviously they felt that he was going directly out of bounds to avoid the hold.
The unseeded Matt Scott of Riverhead, a 9-8 winner over Charlie Taylor of Amityville, an action-packed bout at 130 pounds. And we'll join Paul Broadmerkel with Matt Scott of Riverhead, the 130-pound champion. Hey, Paul.
Matt, how does it feel to be called the county champion?
Well, words don't even describe it. You know, it's just, it's so great. You know, I don't know, it feels so good.
Matt, you had a real big day today. Would you want to talk a little bit about your semifinal bout against a #1 ranked opponent?
That was a little bit crazy. You know, I knew what I had to do, and I had to, really work really hard and don't give up, and I just pulled it out.
You had a great takedown in overtime, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right, and tonight, right here in the finals, you had another outstanding bout, 9-8. You want to speak about that?
Yes. I was up, in my match. It feels good, to win, to come out with the victory, but I did really good. I held on. He got his points, I got my points, but I came out in the end victorious, and I am the county champion.
You came in as an unseeded wrestler. Did you think you could win it right away?
Yes, I did. This doesn't mean nothing. People don't even know about me yet, but now they do, I'm sure.
A lot of my friends.
Season, he'll go upstate for the first time in 4 years since he was up there as a freshman as a Chaminade Flyer. Stephen Ramada, the Suffolk County champion. The Elite Sports Forum and the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships would like to thank our contributing sponsors from Dowling College, VAB Radiology, Nassau Community College, Dr. Passarelli and Long Island Eye, of course, Elite Sports Medicine and all their trainers at the Rehabilitation Center, the Long Island Institute for Professional Studies, Channel 55, and ASICS. Without them, this event would not be possible. Check out the Suffolk County Championships this week on Island-wide on TV 31 Telecare. Up next, the 135-pound weight class, the unseeded Greg Holmes of Longwood. He'll take on Romaine Malcolm of Amityville, the 2-seed. And Romaine Malcolm was a county runner-up last year, and Bob, Malcolm is as tough as they come, the 2-seed.
Yes, he is, Greg. I didn't get a chance to see him this year until I watched him in a county tournament. He's a big 30-pounder, and he's tough, and he's physical, and he's quick as lightning. Also, you have Holmes, who's very tough, but he hasn't been in this situation. Last year, Malcolm lost a tough one to Danny Song, and I think he's pretty fired up. He runs a great near side half and thigh pry, and if he's heavy on that, it's going to wear him down.
Darren, we just saw 2 points for Romaine Malcolm. He took him down pretty quick. First 20 seconds of the match tells me he's ready to go after it.
Yep, Romaine Malcolm was here before. He was here last year, came up a little bit short. I'm sure that he spent the latter part of the last year waiting for this moment. He's not going to let the opportunity slip by.
Well, we saw county runner-up Kenny Torres of a year ago from Brentwood come out and pin Frank Merengolo at 432 of the 103-pound bout. He waited a year to taste victory here in the county finals, and now Romaine Malcolm of Amityville, he'd like to do the same. And I got to ask you guys something. You're Billy Mizell and the coaching staff of Amityville. You just had a really difficult, controversial decision in the bout prior to this. You got to focus. You got another kid on the mat. How tough is that for any coach, Darren?
It's very tough to focus, but, you know, like coaches have the ability to do is just block out one bad loss and then build on that for the future, get on to the next match that's in front of them.
Bob, you've had quite a few kids from Brentwood get into the finals, and I know you've had some really difficult losses and some trying situations. How do you focus?
Well, like I said, you got to realize that, you know, there's only two outcomes in a wrestling match: a win and a loss, and there's going to be a fine line between a lot of them. There's not going to be a lot of clear-cut wins, 10-0 pins. You know, those you could deal with, but the questionable calls where you always have, you know, in the back of your mind, maybe this, maybe that. You know, it's tough to explain to the kids that go out and try their hard that sometimes things are going to work out and sometimes they're not. But you know, you have to focus on the overall goal. Sometimes it's the journey and not the outcome.
And as a coach, that's one of the most important aspects of coaching in a sport like this, where only one guy is the champion and everybody else is in second place or less. And it's tough, and you got to know that that's what life's all about. There's a lot of ups and downs.
You know, you realize you might have, you know, 32-0, and then you lose your last match, and you don't feel like you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish, and you walk off the mat, you're not feeling, you know, the intent, you know, the depth of what you've done the whole year. It's, you know, it's a great accomplishment, but since you walk off the mat, that last match is, you know, with a loss, you have that bitter taste in your mouth.
And that's why it's difficult being an educator and a coach and all those things rolled into one. Sometimes you even have to be a psychologist. You have to tell the kids they have to understand. And that's probably why so many kids stay so close to the sport even after their careers are over.
Well, I think you're right, Greg. I think, you know, what happens is that you know, you put so much into it that you know, you lay it all on the line, and it's very tough. But, you know, like I said, wrestling may be the most unjust sport there is.
Malcolm trying to gain the takedown just before the first period ends. He won't get it. A nice counter by Greg Holmes of Longwood, and that'll end the first period. Romaine Malcolm of Amityville, he leads 2-1 at 135 pounds for the county championship. Greg Holmes, a sophomore, unseeded out of Longwood, doing a terrific job here in the tournament. He was the League One champion, Darren. He's 34-5. He's only 15 years old.
Hard worker. He was in the room last year. I think he's feeling a little bit more comfortable right now in this final. I think you're going to see him be a little bit more aggressive from here on out. Maybe a little intimidated when we first stepped on the mat, but Greg Holmes is a tough kid, so he's not feeling so intimidated right now, and he'll go after it. Right now, just tried to hit a switch, and they're driving out of bounds. I don't know if much will come out of this.
Darren, my mistake. Greg Holmes was the League One champion. He was the 5th seed. He is not unseeded. He is a sophomore. He came through with 2 11-4 wins, and he also pinned John Paul Terwilliger in 2:45 after Terwilliger pulled the upset of the tournament with the big 8-4 win over first seed Ryan Patrovic of Islip.
And I believe those two also met for 3rd and 4th in the county tournament in the consolations earlier today, with Patrovic avenging that loss
with the same score, 8-4. You're right. Patrovic finishing in 3rd, and I talked to his father afterwards. Patrovic was feeling a little ill after the tournament, but he was real proud of his son. He said that he'll be okay tomorrow, and he was proud of him coming back. It's very difficult, as we all know, for these guys to come back through the wrestlebacks and get a place finish in the county, because it's so mentally difficult after you lose that first bout and you know you can't win a championship. Malcolm on top.
Well, Malcolm's looking real good. Like you said, Darren had mentioned earlier, the longer you stay in the match, you know, obviously the more comfortable you feel. Holmes, you know, stayed in the match. He was a little apprehensive at first, but he started to get his feel, and he just got caught there with a straight-on double.
5-2, Romaine Malcolm leads here with 40 seconds remaining in the second period of this 135-pound match. Malcolm on top. Greg Holmes on bottom with the green and black retro socks from Longwood.
Malcolm's a tough rider on top, too. He'll ride him for the remainder of the period unless Holmes could get out.
Trying to work that half. Holmes looks the other way, breaks the half.
He's got a big tight waist. He's going to come out parallel, otherwise he's going to get hit for a stolen one on top. He's very long, so he gets real deep on the tight waist. He tries to stay on the floor, but Holmes has been countering pretty well so far.
Stoppage here with 8 seconds remaining in the second period. 5-2, Romaine Malcolm looking 1 year later from a heartbreaking loss in the county championship last year, trying to make it all possible this year for a trip up to Syracuse for a shot at the state wrestling championship. Time ticking down here in the second period. Seconds remain. Holmes trying to get out, and that'll do it here in the second period. Romaine Malcolm of Amityville, he leads 5-2 at 135 pounds. Now, Darren, you're Romaine Malcolm. You start this third period, you're up 3 points. You know Holmes, pretty tough kid. Not going to give up. He's not going anywhere. What do you got to do here? You start in the neutral position.
I'm looking to get inside control the tempo, maybe get in on a leg shot and finish a shot. Holmes tried a lateral earlier in the second period that he never finished, but that means he's trying for the big move and he's not too scared of attempting something like that. That makes him very dangerous at this point. So I think if I'm Malcolm, I have to keep wrestling with my strength, keep, in on the shots, not make any, rash decisions and trying to throw them or any type of big move, and see where it brings me.
Yeah, I don't think that Holmes needs a big move just yet. I think he's got plenty of time left. Quick two, and you're right back into it. The worst mistake that Malcolm can make here is stop wrestling, and as you can see, he's not doing that.
Romaine Malcolm with another takedown. He goes up 7-2 with 1:25 left. And now he's on top looking for the pin, but Holmes will roll away from that move. Romaine Malcolm, a 4-time League 5 champion. He earned his 112th victory in this morning's semifinals here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. Looking to go one more step into the state tournament this year as a senior from Amityville. Amityville having a terrific tournament. They lead in the team scoring heading into the finals by 14 points. 115-101.
Nice reversal for Holmes here. He's going to look for a bar or maybe one of those famous longwood cradles. And like we said earlier, Malcolm can't stay and relax. He's got to wrestle. According to Andy Slauson, our statistician, he tells me that if Romaine Malcolm can hold on here and win this 135-pound bout, Amityville will indeed clinch the school's first county championship since 1962. Outstanding, fellas. Billy Mizell really turning that program in the right direction.
Tribute to the coaching staff. Good group of guys over there, hard-working, year-round, wrestling with the guys, building a program from the ground up.
27 seconds remain. Greg Holmes trails 7-4.
You're jumping. Give him a green caution.
And we have a caution.
Start up again.
Dan Harrell will make them start over. Romaine Malcolm on bottom from Amityville. He leads 7-4. 26 seconds remaining here in the 135-pound weight class of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
I don't know if Holmes is looking for that near side clamp or what he's going to look for, but he's going to have to look for a turn quick.
Got the bar in there.
10 seconds. Romaine Malcolm 7 seconds away from a Suffolk County championship, and it looks like he'll get that as time expires here in the third period. Your 135-pound Suffolk County Wrestling Champion, Romaine Malcolm of Amityville, a 7-4 winner over Greg Holmes of Longwood, and that will clinch the Suffolk County team title for Amityville, the school's first since 1962. Congratulations to the coaching staff at Amityville. The wrestling team doing what the basketball team has done for the last couple of years, and Bob, terrific athletes over in Amityville.
They sure are. And Malcolm went to it like a business-like approach. He, did it by point, and it went great.
All right, Romaine Malcolm from Amityville, our 135-pound champion. He'll be over with Paul Broadmerkel. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with Romaine Malcolm, our 135-pound champion from Amityville. How do you feel, Romaine?
Feel good. I've been working all my life to achieve this goal of winning the county tournament. A lot of people on my team helped me, the Camarato family, the Blee family, Coach Mazel, Coach Versa, Coach Pollock, all the guys in the room that helped me out. I've been working for this my whole life, and it feels good to finally achieve my lifelong goal.
Great. Well, it was a little different last year. You were runner-up last year, and this year you're the champion. How do you feel about the different feelings between being a champion and having a great tournament last year?
Last year, when I played second last year, and I felt like I really came up short of my goals. And I went to camp over the summer, lift weights, ran a lot with my teammates, worked hard with my coaches, and it feels good to come back and improve upon my last year's finish. And I'm just proud of myself, and I'd like to thank all the Amarillo fans and all the supporters that support our team. It's been a long year, and I'm really proud of my team and myself as an individual.
You were undefeated this year, correct?
Yes, this year I had an undefeated season. It was tough, but I got through, and I just got to thank my coaches, my parents. I owe a lot to them. You know, it's just a good feeling to finally achieve my goal.
Did that put any pressure on you being undefeated coming to the tournament? Were you concerned about that?
Yes, because I haven't witnessed loss the whole season, and that's one thing no one wants to do. So I was just trying my best to wrestle like it was a regular tournament, gain my wins, and come out with a victory for my team, fans, and everyone that support us.
Well, we know you put in a lot of time during the summer, so we want to congratulate you. It's Romaine Malcolm, our 135-pound county champ.
Brook University and the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. But first, let's check in with Nassau Community College and our colleagues at the Nassau County Wrestling Championships. Guys?
Standing by with Marsha Hayes. Marsha Hayes holds the distinction of being one of the top female referees / officials for wrestling in the country. And just to have that distinction, you actually referee men's and women's.
Oh, absolutely. And I started out doing men's exclusively. I moved into doing women's as women's became a prevalent part of the wrestling community and competition.
And no other official ranks higher than you, Marsha. But here today, you're here to talk about the World Championships. September 12th, Madison Square Garden. We know the events of September 11th canceled it the first time around, but they are coming this September.
Absolutely, and we're extremely excited about it, and we're trying to encourage all the members of the metropolitan wrestling community, particularly the Long Island wrestling community, to support this program. We have to demonstrate by bringing in the numbers of individuals that are extremely enthusiastic about this particular sport to the Madison Square Garden program, so that we can showcase this event and demonstrate to the world that once we have presented an event such as the World Wrestling Championship, we can also present a top-notch program for an Olympics in 2012. So this is key. If our community, Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk, and everybody around comes in, buys tickets, and demonstrates to a community that this is an extremely popular sport and that we can support it, we have the chance of bringing the Olympics to New York State.
Come see the top Olympic wrestlers in the world at the 2003 World Championships of Freestyle Wrestling. This exciting event is coming to Madison Square Garden from September 12th through the 14th, 2003. Over 500 athletes from 80 countries will be participating in this Olympic qualifying event. For tickets, call 1-877-NYC-2003 or log on to our website for more information. Nowhere in the
Suffolk Stony Brook University, I'm sorry, Andy Slauson joins me again. And Andy, I know you were away from the table for a few minutes, but what a terrific job by the Amityville Warriors. They are the team champions, first time since 1962.
Give all the credit in the world to Coach Billy Mizell, Jerry Pollock, who's been there about 150 years as an assistant, Darren Aversa. You know, Norm Mizell, Billy's father, was there for 25 years, had some close calls, great teams, and now Billy wins that title. I know it makes Amityville proud.
Joining us in the booth, Guy Leggio of East Islip. And Guy, terrific season for the East Islip Redmen. You've been around a long time. This is another one of those great bouts where we pit the number 1 and the number 2 seed, John Cummings of Bayshore, the 1 seed, against Shaheen Bradshaw of Huntington, the 2 seed. And Bradshaw comes out of the gate strong with the takedown. He leads 2-1 in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, he had a quick takedown in the beginning, and now it's back up on neutral, 2-1, and we have a nice match going on here with about a minute left in the first period.
Shaheen Bradshaw in the white singlet for the Huntington Blue Devils. He's taking on John Cummings of Bayshore in the maroon and white. Cummings, the number 1 seed, having a terrific season. He's got 128 wins in his career. He's a senior. He's 17 years old. And he's looking for his first Suffolk County championship. He was 3rd in the county at 135 pounds last year and 4th in 1999, 5th in 2001. This guy's been in the county place winner 3 years in a row. And Andy Slauson, is this his year to win a county title?
You would like to think so if you're a Bayshore fan, but you know, you can't ever vote against Lou Gianni. And I mean, Johnny's been a prohibitive favorite from the beginning of the year, but Shaheen Bradshaw is 32-0, and you can't go 32-0 without being an outstanding wrestler. So we'll have to see what develops.
Shaheen Bradshaw taken down by John Cummings. Cummings leads 3-2, 24 seconds remaining here in the first period. Bradshaw put together. I mean, this kid is put together. He's down 3-2. You know, we see this at 140 pounds, and in the middleweight, some of these kids are just physical specimens, right, guys?
Yeah, they're very tough. This is a great matchup here. We're watching some great wrestling. You know, the strength of Johnny Cummings, it'd be interesting to see this. His strength is not on his feet. His strength is on top. So it'll be interesting to see how he rides with Shaheem Bradshaw here.
And if he can, I mean, he's holding on. He takes him back down. 8 seconds remaining. He's got to hold on. He doesn't want to give up that point as time runs down in the first period. 6 seconds left. Cummings does not want to give up a point, right, guy?
No, he'll be looking for that bar arm and a half, his favorite move, looking on top. But right now, he's not going to have enough time. Just hope he hangs on.
Bradshaw has looked so explosive so far in this match, in his first 2 minutes.
Who had the quickest getting out of that referee's position of all time from Huntington? Gene McNeil.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was out in the flesh. By the way, he was really never in the referee's position. He either pinned this guy in the first period, right? Or he was on top and stuck the guy. That guy was amazing.
Two-time state champ Gene McNeil was 117-4 in his career from 83 through 86 at Huntington.
Shaheem Bradshaw taking down in the referee's position. His choice here in the second period of this 140-pound weight class. Suffolk County Championships. John Cummings, the top seed, working on top in the maroon.
He's got that bar arm in there now. And that far wrist. He's going to try and run that.
Trying to run the bar arm on the powerful Shaheem Bradshaw. Bradshaw crawling along the mat, trying to escape. 3-2, Cummings leads. 140 remaining here in the second period. Shaheem Bradshaw having a terrific season. 17 years old, an 11th grader. 32 wins, no losses. A two-time League 4 champion. He took 6th place last year in Section 11 in the Suffolk County Championships. But he's got his hands full with the top-seeded John Cummings of Bayshore.
Usually when Cummings puts that half in there, usually you're done. But Bradshaw is a powerful, explosive kid. He's having a hard time getting out, and Cummings can't turn him. It's turning into quite a battle.
I know what the referee's like is both wrestlers are working right now. One trying to get out, one trying to hold on and make a move. And it's just two real strong kids going at it. And that's why they're the top 2 seeds.
Yeah, Johnny's only loss was to one of the better kids who just became a Section 2 champion last night. Who was a state qualifier.
.110 left here in the second period. John Cummings leads 3-2. He's on top in the maroon and white singlet from Bayshore. Marauders scrolled across the back. Coach Mike Porcelli working the corner on his knees. Lou Gianni, the Huntington coach, behind the chairs in his corner. 2 very intense coaching staffs. 50 seconds remaining. Bradshaw's headgear across his eyes. That's got to be annoying.
That's annoying. He's got that bar arm now. He's working that far half. Here's his move.
And they won't move him right now.
I give Bradshaw a lot of credit to hang in there. That's a tough move to get out.
How tough is that right now, Guy, with the headgear across your eyes? You know they're not going to break the move for that.
He just wants to get out of that and stop the match right now. Let's get a new start.
Both of these kids working real hard. Bradshaw trying to escape, Cummings trying to turn him over. This is what good wrestling is all about. You're watching it right here.
Stoppage in the action. 18 seconds remaining here in the second period. You're watching the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University, a standing room only crowd of over 5,000 people checking out the Suffolk County Wrestling Finals. 140-pound bout. Shaheem Bradshaw, the 2 seed, he trails the top-seeded John Cummings of Bayshore 3-2. 10 seconds remaining here in the second period of what's been a wild finals.
You've seen some outstanding wrestlers, some great teams. Section 11 tournament's always one of the best. Cummings did a great job, rode him out for that whole period.
That'll end the second period. Cummings riding Shaheem Bradshaw for the entire 2 minutes of the second period, and now he'll choose bottom for the third and final period. And if you're Shaheem Bradshaw, guy, do you ride him out?
No, I think I'd let him up and go on my feet and take my chances on my feet.
Come on, you're talking about Huntington. They don't cut anybody right away. He'll ride him for a minute, try and turn him.
No, you'll have your new style here in about 30, 20 seconds. Coach Gianni has a whole new bunch of guys.
Guys, we just had a quick look at the crowd, and this place is packed, and they're just anticipating something crazy here in the third period. Something's got to happen. The top 2 seeds here at 140 pounds. Cummings trying to get away. Bradshaw looking for the pin.
You see the power of Bradshaw lifting Cummings up off the mat. And Cummings struggled a little bit in the semis against Sean Pardo. Couldn't get out from underneath. And let's see if he can get out here.
Cummings faces Shaheen Bradshaw, but Bradshaw pushes him out of bounds.
He's going to have to cut him.
They'll have a restart. 1:20 left here in the third period. John Cummings of Bayshore leads 3-2.
I'm kind of shocked that he's not letting him up right now. About a minute left in this match. 3-2. You know, the Huntington philosophy is not to cut kids. It's to ride them, to physically and mentally break them, and then to turn them. You got that right. But I think now is the point, you know, if he can't turn them, now you got to cut him loose.
Coach Lugiani imploring his wrestler to go diamond, and he signals to Ken Selling, the referee, that he will cut him loose. Cummings gets a point. He now leads 4-2 with 52 seconds remaining here in the final period of the 140-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
And you know, Greg, this is such a great thing done by Elite Sports and Dr. Frank Segreto, Friends of Long Island Wrestling with Jerry Seckler and Telecare. It's tremendous that these athletes can be showcased to such a wide audience here on Long Island. We have to thank all of those people very much for this.
And you know, everybody that's here will also come back and watch these finals when they air next week.
Without
20
a doubt.
seconds remaining. A stall call against John Cummings of Bayshore with 17 seconds remaining, a warning. Bradshaw working furiously for a takedown with 10 seconds remaining. Shaheen Bradshaw of Huntington trailing by 2.
And Cummings is in good position. I don't think he's going to get called twice more. And Bradshaw has to push the action. He is to take a shot. Less
5
than 10
seconds remaining
left.
here in a 140-pound bout. Shaheen Bradshaw looking for the takedown. He won't get it. John Cummings of Bayshore, your 140-pound wrestling champion. He wins 4-2 over Shaheen Bradshaw of Huntington.
And that's Bayshore's first county champ since 1997, Mikey Mills. Congratulations to Mike Porcelli, Peter Fusco, and Chris Basilico, coaching staff at Bayshore.
Top-seeded John Cummings wins the 140-pound weight class here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships, and he does it in 4-2 fashion over Shaheen Bradshaw. And our Paul Broadmerkle is with John Cummings of Bayshore right now. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 140-pound county champ, John Cummings from Bayshore. John, how you feeling?
Great. It feels really good.
Now, John, you're a three-time all-county wrestler.
Yeah.
You were third here last year, and now you're the champ. You've had quite a career here at the county championships.
Yeah, I've been here for a few years now, and it just feels great to win it.
Now, John, I know that something special. You were nursing a bad shoulder throughout the entire tournament, huh?
Yeah. I went to my chiropractor right before I got here, and he fixed me up good.
Well, that's really terrific. Now, I also want to ask you one other question.
Yeah.
Are they going to have to move your sister's trophy on the mantle at home? Because she's also an all-county cross-country runner, right?
Yep, we both won the counties this year, so big celebration at the Cummings house. So.
Well, I can't remember the last time we could say that a brother and sister combination won individual county championships in Suffolk County. That's a terrific thing. Now, I want to ask you about tonight's match. Pretty tough, huh?
Yeah, it was a tough match, close match. I just pulled it out.
Did you have any special strategy going into the match?
No, I knew how he wrestled. We had some tape on him, but that's about it.
Well, it seemed to me that you tried to stay down a little bit in the third period and not get back to your feet for a while.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, because he's tough on his feet, and I didn't want to. I figured if I got out at the end, it gave him less chance of taking me down.
Right. Well, listen, we're here once again with John Cummings, our 140-pound county champ. We'll be right back after a few short messages here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Nowhere in the nation is there a more active, productive organization in wrestling than on Long Island. The Friends of Long Island Wrestling, supporting Nassau and Suffolk County Wrestling, and sponsorship of the Stop DWI Junior Tournament, the Long Island Challenge, and a sponsor of the 28 Long Island wrestlers inducted into the National Hall of Fame.
Long Island's own Kimmy Kappenberg trusts her beautiful eyes to Dr. John Passarelli. Is laser vision correction right for your beautiful eyes too? Call 1-888-75-LASIK for your free vision evaluation.
Thank you, Dr. Passarelli. I've never been happier in my life.
Long Island Eye Surgical Care, changing the way you see.
We're back at Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University, and there it is, the Bill Knapp Kid Wrestling Trophy. And Andy, what is that all about? Or Guy, tell us what that's all about.
Well, Mr. Knapp was the founder with Kid Wrestling with my father, Jumper Leggio, back in the early 60s, and Mr. Knapp passed away during our 1980 wrestling season, and we dedicated our wrestling season to Mr. Knapp, and we did a nice job, and all this years we donate the trophy. You win it 3 consecutive times, and you retire the trophy, which Huntington did back in 1985.
83 through 85, that's right. Huntington won it.
Now that trophy is given to the team title winner?
The winning team that wins it, and they have to win it 3 consecutive to retire.
Okay, we're at the start of the 145-pound weight class, top-seeded Alton Lucas of West Babylon, a county runner-up a year ago. And Lucas is going against the 2-seed Frank Marrow of Hauppauge. And Andy, this is a great match between two very physical wrestlers.
Frank Marrow is 38-0, 38 matches. Alton Lucas is 31-0. He lost a close match to Dan Miracola, Shore Wading River last year. Not too many times will you see a kid, Lucas wrestled last year at 140, will you see a freshman make it to the Section 11 finals in a weight that's that high. And he's awesome on his feet, so look for Lucas to shoot a great series of singles and doubles on his feet.
Alton Lucas looking for the first takedown here in the first period against Frank Marrow. Lucas also an outstanding football player for the Eagles football team. He's only in 10th grade, 16 years old, a 31-0 record, a 2-time league champ, one of those 8 county runner-ups from a year ago, looking to win a title this year. Back in the finals, and he gets his 2. 40 seconds left here in the first period. Lucas leads 2-0, and Guy, he just held on until he got that move.
Very impressive on his feet. He likes to ride a little bit on top. He'll let him go and go for a claw as he stands up. Loves that claw position.
You know, Lucas took 7th in the Cadet Nationals this year. That's for the 16-year-olds and younger. And he's really impressive on his feet. By the time he's done, he's going to be, one of the best kids. You're going to say, Alton Lucas is going to be one of the best kids ever in Suffolk on his feet.
Referee Sean Brocking stopping the action at the edge of the mat. Bring him back to the center. They'll start from the referee's position. Lucas on top in the yellow and blue singlet. Top of Frank Marrow. Similar colors. He in the blue singlet with eagles on the back. How funny that they're both eagles and they both have similar colors. But not to be confused, Alton Lucas in the yellow singlet, Frank Marrow in the blue. And at the end of the first period, Lucas leads 2-0 here in the 145-pound weight class of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. And right now, these guys just feeling each other out in the first period. 2 strong kids, top 2 seeds. And they expect something here in the second period from Marrow.
We'll go right back on our feet. Alton Lucas wants to be back on his feet. He's more comfortable there, and he likes to control the match that way.
I think Alton's going to try and ride him for a little bit. And if he cuts him, I think you're going to see him go to work on their feet. This is a big escape point for Marrow.
Marrow picking up a point on the escape, and then bang, right away, a duck under. For Lucas, he takes a 4-1 lead.
3 seconds it took him to get that takedown. The explosiveness of Alton Lucas is unbelievable.
He's going to start riding him out here, and if he doesn't, he'll cut him again and go back on his feet.
120 left here in the second period at the 145-pound weight class. Alton Lucas leads 4-1 over Frank Marrow of Hauppauge.
And he's not going to get caught in a bad position, and I think that he's going to cut him, and he's not going to play games with them. He'll let him go and just try and keep dominating him on his feet. Because Frank Marrow, to go 38-0, super tough kid, and he could catch him at any point.
It's amazing that he's won 38 matches, and these two have never met all season.
That's what happens sometimes, Greg. That's why we have the county finals to determine who that best kid is. But it's really a shame. You have 2 outstanding wrestlers. One of them's going to have a loss. There'll be a combined 70-1 after this match, and one of these guys will not go to Syracuse. And it's just really a crime that they will not take the top 2 kids to Syracuse, that they've split the state into 2 for next year.
Well,
I think that is not a good thing for Long Island wrestling, not at all.
They're hoping to get that 2 man up there to represent every section. And I hope it works out, but It looks like it's a long time coming.
40 seconds remaining in the second period of the 145-pound weight class. Alton Lucas leads Frank Marrow 4-2. The Suffolk County Wrestling Championships brought to you by Dowling College, VAB Radiology, and Dr. Passarelli and Long Island Eye. Lucas looking for another takedown at the edge of the mat. Marrow holding on, and he'll get out of bounds. And Sean Brocking, the referee, will put them back at the center of the mat.
Sean Brocking, an outstanding referee.
You don't get him any better than Sean Brocking.
Year after year, he's rated #1 in Suffolk County.
And he should be.
All of these officials, John Trusello, Kenny Sellen, Danny Harrell, Sean Brocking, they've all done an outstanding job, not only in this tournament, but throughout the season.
And I got to tell you, they catch a lot of flack from a lot of the people out there. They don't understand how difficult it is to officiate one of these bouts. I mean, it's really hard.
Well, Sean's a top quality ref, we know that, and while he's out there, he totally takes control of the match, talks to the kids, lets the kids know where they're at, doesn't play a part of the match, and he lets the whole match happen. Sean is the top quality ref out there.
Start of the third period, Lucas leading 4-2.
And I think
Marrow holding on right now, trying to take him back down to the mat.
Yeah, Marrow doesn't want to get into a takedown battle with Mr. Lucas here. And you see Lucas trying to get out. If Marrow doesn't come up, he's going to get warned for stalling on that, because you can't stay in that position just holding on to that leg. Lucas pretty much in control right now. That 4-2 lead. If he gets out, it'll be a lot for Frank Marrow to overcome. Frank is doing a nice job right now on top. Yeah, he's riding him tough. Yeah, looking for that tilt towards.
Yeah, but the problem with that, guys, in high school wrestling is you get no points for riding time.
Right. Yeah.
He needs to do something there.
You know, he's such a well-coached kid. Chris Messina, Jerry Goodfellow, longtime Hop Hog coaches, have an outstanding program. One of the best high school wrestling teams year in and year out in the state. And to give Vinny Ennis a lot of credit over there. He's brought that West Babylon program right back where it belongs. He's done an unbelievable job turning them around. Gene Blanchard finished up in third place at 2:15 for them in the tournament earlier this afternoon. And Vinny's done a great job there.
50 seconds remaining here in the third period. In the 145-pound weight class, Alton Lucas leads 5-2 over Frank Marrow of Hop Hog, the top 2 seeds in the tournament. 2 undefeated wrestlers going at it. And another 2 points for Alton Lucas, and he leads 7-2 here with 30 seconds remaining in the championship bout.
Yeah, and Alton just looked up at the clock right before he let him go. He knows he's got a 4-point lead, and as long as he doesn't do anything silly, he's going to win that county championship. And remember, he's only in 10th grade. This young man's going to be around for a long time. He's a classy kid, great kid, and he's going to be an outstanding champion.
Under 10 seconds. Lucas takes Marrow down to the mat, 7-3. And time will run out on Frank Marrow's season. And a good season at that. He'll finish with 1 loss, 38-1. Your 145-pound champion, Alton Lucas of West Babylon, a 7-3 winner here in the 145-pound final. And he remains unbeaten, and a year after he was the county runner-up, he comes back and wins the county championship as a sophomore. Alton Lucas, and he'll join our Paul Broadmerkle in 1 moment. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 145-pound champ, Alton Lucas from West Babylon. Alton, how you feeling?
Good. Great, actually.
Now, Alton, I understand that you were 30-0 this year. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Runner-up last year, obviously a lot happier this year, correct?
Yeah, a lot. I worked hard on the off-season, and I don't know, it paid off, as you see.
Speaking of your off-season, I know you were out at Fargo for the Junior National Freestyle Championships. A pretty tough tournament out there, huh?
Yeah.
You're double All-American.
Yes.
How tough is this tournament, though?
Pretty tough. I don't know, there's a lot of hard guys in my weight class.
You know, well, it seems to me that when these guys are wrestling you on the feet, they're kind of trying to stay away from you, and they're kind of being defensive most of the time. How do you feel about that?
I take it as a compliment because I see that they're afraid to wrestle me when I'm on my feet, so I just take it as a compliment.
Well, listen, we're hoping that you do real well at the state championships coming up in 2 weeks. How do you feel about going to Syracuse?
I feel good, and I hope I do this many more times.
Okay, congratulations one more time to our 145-pound champ from West Babylon, Alton Lucas. Right now, guys, we're going to go for a short break. We'll be back here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University.
Brought to you by Telecare, Friends of Long Island Wrestling, and Elite Sports Medicine. 7 of last year's Suffolk County Wrestling Champions. The last 3 Hanson Award winners. 10 out of the last 20 Long Island Football Championship teams. Briarcliff College, Dowling College, professional baseball players Neil Heaton, Keith Hosick, Rob Grable. What do they all have in common? Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. We build and heal champions. Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Suffolk's complete sports and sports medicine resource.
Looking to achieve success? Then start by looking to the college that is ranked as one of the top community colleges in the country. Start at the college that offers both transfer-oriented degree programs and 2-year career programs. Start at the college that offers small class sizes, taught by award-winning faculty. Start at the college that offers one of the lowest tuitions in the state, Nassau Community College. It's where success starts and continues.
There he is, Brent Bode, Elite Sports Medicine, and part of an elite training staff that's done a great job with all the athletes and all the wrestlers here at Stony Brook University at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. And I'll tell you what, Brent does a terrific job, not just here at the Wrestling Championships, but also at Elite, helping get these guys back on the mat and back in the game. And we're back here at Stony Brook at 152 pounds here at Stony Brook University, and this is going to be a great match. We got 152 pounds, Mike Frazier of Amityville, the top seed. He'll go against Joe Esposito of Islip, and Esposito came out of the unseeded bracket. And Andy, he's a tough kid. We know him from the football season with the Buccaneers winning the Division III championship this year.
Oh, Espos had a great year for the Bucks, both in football and in wrestling, and he is such a gritty kid. He's had an outstanding tournament, beat Chris Toomey in the quarterfinals, then Charlie Parr of Huntington. He beat him 3-1 in the semifinals. He's just been on an outstanding run. And Mike Frazier, 30-0 of Amityville. Now all the guys from Amityville, they probably realize that they have the title clinched. Now they want 2 champions to really solidify that, you know, they were the best team in Suffolk County this year.
Both wrestlers battled their way into the finals. 5-2, Frazier beating Chad Cardillo of Hauppauge, and joining us now, Haupauge's coach, Chris Messina. And Chris, you've had an unbelievable coaching career at Hauppauge. Chad Cardillo, another example of one of the outstanding wrestlers that's come through your program. And how tough is Mike Frazier to be able to beat Cardillo in the semifinals?
Well, he's excellent on his feet. He basically just kept Chad away from his game, and our game was to try to keep it close, try to wrestle and beat him on the mat. But Frazier was very good on his feet, didn't let Chad in. He escaped when he had to, and right at the end, Chad had a chance for a few takedowns, and he didn't get them. Frazier's defense was excellent.
We appreciate you joining us here for the 152-pound bout. 30 seconds remaining here in the first period. Joe Esposito of Islip in the black with the purple and gold. He's the unseeded out of Islip against Mike Frazier of Amityville. 25 seconds remain. And Chris, Frank Marrow, 38-0. He just comes out of the 145-pound bout. He gave it his all, but Alton Lucas was just a little bit too strong.
Right. The difference was just skill. Alton Lucas was hitting some beautiful duck unders. His movement was excellent. Frank never really got a chance to get in on him and do some of the things that he does very well, like duck himself. Alton is excellent on his feet, and that's where Frank's usually pretty good.
My colleague Andy Slauson said that on one of the duck unders he had it in lightning quick fashion, 3 seconds after he allowed him to escape. And I think Frank was a little bit taken aback by Alton Lucas's speed.
Oh, absolutely. Frank just went to tie up with him. As he touched his head, Alton was behind him. That's how quick it was. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned Esposito and these guys in the finals. Chad defeated Esposito in the finals of the leagues last week in a one-point match. So even though he wasn't seeded, Esposito was one of the best kids in the counties, as you can see by him being here.
You know, all of these kids that get to this level, whether they're seeded or not,
You know, that seeding really doesn't necessarily mean if you're seeded or unseeded that you're a good kid, you're not a good kid. Because of the automatic seeding criteria that the coaches use, if you don't win your league championship, you cannot be seeded in the county tournament.
Joe Esposito, a 17-year-old senior with a 30-3 record, and like you said, a League 4 runner-up here in the finals, coming out of the unseeded bracket. Sometimes, as a seeded wrestler, you face a guy like Esposito in the first, second round. That can ruin your tournament.
Well, you know what? It's not so much ruin your tournament. This tournament is a very humbling experience for most of the coaches. Yeah, you come here with a team that you think is going to do super, and once again, you hit guys like Esposito and kids like Scott, who are from outside brackets, Taylor. They come out of nowhere, but you know what? They're from excellent programs.
Second period, still scoreless. 1 minute, 4 seconds remaining here at 152 pounds. And right now, both of these guys wrestling in a very defensive fashion. Nobody really making any moves. And as you can see, Frazier having a difficult time getting away from Esposito here in the referee's position.
This is Esposito's game. He's one of the best defensive wrestlers I've seen in a long time. He's awesome on top. He wants to win a 2-1 match. He gets on top, he'll work you real well. He's not going to get banged for stalling. He's got to open up a little more on his feet.
Now, Andy says that a lot of these wrestlers who like to ride on top, even though you don't get points for riding time, they like to squeeze the energy out of you, squeeze the life out of you. Do you see that in Esposito?
I think he's just trying to hold the guy down. He's trying to ride him. You know, at this level, you're not going to squeeze the energy out of anybody. I mean, he just wants to ride him, keep him on his head, and try to go into the next period and be down and escape and get a 1-0 win.
But mentally, you can break guys on top. If they can't get out on you, if it takes them a tremendous amount of time, I think that mentally that breaks your opponent.
26 seconds remain here in the second period of a scoreless bout between Mike Frazier, the top seed, and unseeded Joe Esposito of Islip. Esposito on top, riding for over 1 minute and 35 seconds. He needs to hold him down for another 20 seconds as time ticks down here in the second period of the 152-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Both of these guys are working hard, and now Esposito's going to get a warning for the stall.
Do you agree with that call, Chris?
Yeah, he's right. He's got to come out to the side. You know, it's interesting. In the league tournament, Boy Holland from Huntington was beating Esposito 6-0 going into the third period, and he came back and pinned him. So this kid, you know, is not afraid to be in tough situations. He doesn't lose too much poise. And as you can see here, the stall didn't, you know, fluster him a little, but he's still being aggressive.
And Esposito will get out of the second period. He'll successfully ride out the 2 minutes. And now it'll be up to Mike Frazier, the top seed, 30 wins, no losses. A senior, a two-time League 5 champion, and a 5th place finisher in last year's Suffolk County tournament. And let's see if he can hold Joe Esposito down in the third period.
And you know, looking over there at the Amityville bench to see Jerry Pollock and Billy Mizell makes you think of the guy. Lonnie Kittle started Amityville Wrestling 1933, is a National Hall of Fame coach. Then they had Joe Valla, Norm Mizell. They have been a great program for 70 years, and it's just a treat to watch Billy, who's such a good guy, come along and develop with Jerry and Darren these kids into a county championship team.
I've been doing this a long time. I remember when Billy Mizell was out here wrestling on the mat in the finals. You've been doing it longer than me, Chris.
I remember his dad being on the side. I remember Billy. You know, he, like you said, you got the wise man, Jerry Pollock, on the side. You got Billy with the technique. Darren Averse is a great addition. He's a Hot Pod graduate, 2-time county place winner. He's doing an outstanding job. They got a great program, and you know what? They deserve it. They've been working hard, and this group that they have this year has finally made them rise to the top.
Billy, you know, I'm talking to him early in the year. Billy told me one of the biggest differences with these kids is that some of these better kids, 6 or 7 of them, went to the West Virginia University camp this summer, which helped them out a lot. You know, they were together, they trained for a month, and he thinks that they did that little bit extra to put them over the top, and you're seeing it in this tournament.
We heard that earlier from Darren Goldstein, Rocky Point. He said all the kids that wrestle year-round and put in the time are the kids that are very difficult to beat come tournament time. 50 seconds remain here in the third period. We are still scoreless in this 152-pound weight class. Mike Frazier of Amityville and Joe Esposito of Islip.
Just give Esposito a few minutes, a few seconds, and I guarantee you he's getting out. He's biding his time.
Could this be the game plan? Could this be the game plan?
Absolutely.
Nah, you want to get out. The kid's been working to get out. You know, Frazier's done a good job riding him.
Frazier chasing him along the mat there, trying to stay in control. And Andy, I don't know. I think Chris Messina is right here, the hot bar coach. I think Esposito can get out when he wants, and now he feels it's time to make a move.
He got away with that. I think Esposito moved a little bit early. Wow, Frazier followed him really well on that.
Yes, he did.
And now Sean Brocking, the mat judge for this match, is going to tell John Trusello, hey, watch Esposito. He moved a little bit early on that last start.
35 seconds remain here in the third period. Joe Esposito on bottom from Islip, working against Mike Frazier, the top seed, on top. An escape would give Esposito the 1-0 lead here in the third period. 20 seconds remain. Esposito trying to get loose. Frazier trying to hold on, and he's looking for the neutral position. 15 seconds remain here in the 152-pound weight class for the championship. Mike Frazier holding on. 8 seconds. Esposito, he's holding on to, and he's out. He gets the reversal. Joe Esposito will be your 152-pound champion here in Suffolk County with a reversal with 7 seconds remaining. And I'll tell you what, Chris, John Trusello did not see it. Mike Frazier was holding on to Joe Esposito's singlet for the last 15 seconds.
With 15 seconds to go, you're going to grab his shoelace, his foot, his tail.
You grab his tongue if you can hold him down.
He was grabbing whatever he could hold on to, but to no avail. Esposito makes his move, gains the reversal with under 10 seconds, and Joe Esposito, your 152-pound champion. We're going to take a look at that final 10 seconds. Esposito getting congratulated. Look at the hold on the singlet right there, Chris. He's holding on for dear life, and Esposito says, no way, pal.
Hey.
I'm getting it too, and I'm going to Syracuse.
Esposito's done a great job. The whole tournament, he's wrestled smart. He won many matches right at the end, just like that. And I believe he was waiting, 35 seconds, 40 seconds to go, he put it on.
Joe Esposito of Islip, the 152-pound champion here in Suffolk County. And he's going over to our Paul Brotmerkel, and we're going to check him out. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 152-pound champion from Islip, Joe Esposito. Joe, we had a great tournament. You want to make a couple of comments about that?
Yeah, I had a good spot. I just kept on wrestling. I wrestled hard, and I got through.
Well, you're all county in football, and now you're the county champ in wrestling. That's a pretty good year so far.
Yeah, it's an awesome year. We also won the county championship in football, which was great.
Now, last year, coming into this tournament, you split your head open. Is that correct? And you had a very difficult time last year at this tournament.
Yeah, that's correct. The week before the tournament, I couldn't practice all week because I split my head open, and I lost in the first round, and I was done last year.
Well, it's great to win it this year, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, now I want to ask you about your finals match here. You won it on 2 reversals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm not really an aggressive wrestler. I just wrestled my match, kept it slow. I looked up, there's 10 seconds left. I knew I had to get the reversal, and I pulled it off.
Well, once again, congratulations to our 152-pound champ, Joe Esposito. We'll be right back to the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships after a short break.
Come see the top Olympic wrestlers in the world at the 2003 World Championships of Freestyle Wrestling. This exciting event is coming to Madison Square Garden from September 12th through the 14th, 2003. Over 500 athletes from 80 countries will be participating in this Olympic qualifying event. For tickets, call 1-877-NYC-2003 or log on to our website for more information. Jamaica Ash, through service we grow, at 516-333-2211. A proud sponsor of Long Island Wrestling.
Back at Stony Brook University, but before we go and check out those 160-pound finalists, we're going to look at some of the State Catholic High School Championship highlights.
And now we're going to look at highlights from the Catholic High School State Championships. I'm joined by Kieran Griffin, one of the Chaminade coaches. And the first match we're going to look at is the 135-pound final with Matt Murphy of Holy Trinity High School.
Yeah, wearing the green singlet, Murphy's one of Holy Trinity's better wrestlers. Finished the season with a 35-4 record. Only a junior, he'll be back again next year. Unfortunately, he came up against this pretty tough sophomore from St. Joe's Collegiate up in Buffalo. Did a great job riding legs throughout the whole match. Here, reaching for the guillotine, Okay, and Murph trying to scoop and try to get out for 2. Unfortunately, the kid on top just proves to be a little too tough.
And Holy Trinity really came on this year. They scored 92 points in this tournament. They finished in 7th place, one of their better teams.
Absolutely. Here Murph has the front headlock, trying to spin behind to get 2 to draw the match within 5-4. But going out of bounds, the collegiate kid drags his toes, gets his 2, and pretty much seals the match.
And Mike Roborski comes away with the 5-2 decision. And at 140 pounds, Joe Drennan of St. Anthony's continued his dominant ways as he beats Chris Calderon of Chaminade High School, and Drennan comes away with his 2nd consecutive state championship.
Yeah, Joe Drennan has looked great all year. Finished with a 25-2 record, was a buzzsaw through the whole tournament. Unfortunately for the Chaminade wrestler, Joe amassed quite a number of points. But Joe looks good. I think he's going to be able to go up to Syracuse and win a few matches.
And Joe Drennan won the Ironman Award as he was a 4-time Catholic State High School place winner. The 145-pound final. Brian McMenamin of Chaminade High School came up a little short against Kevin Keel of Canisius.
And McMenamin did a great job wrestling for Chaminade at 145 this year. Unfortunately, Keel was a finalist last year, fell a little short at 135. And this year he made sure that wasn't going to happen again.
And at 152 pounds, perhaps one of the elite wrestlers in the CHSAA, Neil Franciotti of Chaminade Jr., comes away with the victory over Mark Miklos of St. Francis Prep to earn the Catholic School state title.
Yeah. One of Neil's strengths is probably his top position. He does a great job on top, digging for gable bars, tight waist tilts, etc. He's probably takes him 2 or 3 minutes, but there isn't a wrestler that he doesn't ride for 2 or 3 minutes that he doesn't get onto his back.
And Chaminade did a great job throughout the tournament. They had some other state champions not shown here.
At 96, Brian McMenamin's brother, Ian, ended up pinning a St. John the Baptist kid in the 2nd period for his first title. At 103, Derek Russ, if you remember, his older brother Will was in the finals last year at 112 against John Witzenbacher. But Derek ended up pinning a Kellenberg kid, Phil Vacchio. And then at 125, we had 2 Chaminade teammates go head-to-head. Chris Memley, the junior, and Tim Higgins. Unfortunately for Higgins, Memley got the best of him, pinning him.
And Rich Gage of St. Anthony's also won a title at 119. And here's a great move by Franciotti.
Yeah, he's been tough all year.
And there you see Franciotti wins the title. And at 171 pounds, Rich Krafasi of Holy Trinity defeated Rob Balaki of Kellenberg.
Yeah, Rich was our league most valuable wrestler. He did a great job in our league championship tournament, and here he just goes showing you what kind of a buzzsaw he's been the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Here he uses a bar arm and a far wrist to record the pin, and he wins the 171-pound Catholic state title. And at 189 pounds, Maurice Baker of Kellenberg wrestles Ryan Hoffman of Xavier.
Yeah, only a junior, Baker has a tremendous amount of potential. He's got a great length for the 189-pound weight class. He's got decent size, loves to use his legs, has a knack for catching kids in scrambles on their back.
And he did an outstanding job, long and lanky, great leverage. Chaminade won the title. St. Francis Prep finished 2nd. Kellenberg Memorial finished in 3rd place. St. Anthony's finished in 4th place. Holy Trinity was 7th.
Now trying to scoot out here, Baker's just trying to make sure that he doesn't lose control. Notice he seems somewhat poised as the Xavier kid, very short and stocky, tries to lower his base. But Baker comes up on top, just lowers his head there a little bit, gets in a little trouble, gives up the reversal.
And this was late in the match. Baker would use an escape in coming up in just a minute here to win this title.
And it ended up being a 7-5 decision. A real close match. Just goes to show you that you need to be well conditioned and focused for an entire 6 minutes out there. Using the length to stay in the groin here, not give up. Heavy on the belly. Good crossface, spinning behind. Uses this leverage. Goes from giving up to getting to in that situation.
And the final score, Baker wins 7-5. And now let's go back to the county tournaments.
Greg Sarah of Newsday back here at Stony Brook University with my colleague Andy Slauson. And Andy, we're seeing some terrific bouts. That last bout at 152 pounds, it came down to the final move.
It was an outstanding match. Both kids deserve to win. I'll say it again, 3rd time I'm saying it. That's why we should take both kids to Syracuse, not just the champion.
Joe Esposito of Islip taking a 2-0 victory over top-seeded Mike Frazier of Amityville and Chris Messina. An outstanding bout. You were right. Joe Esposito was just waiting for that final move, and I thought that was outstanding.
Well, yeah, and a little sidebar too. Joey Esposito is one of the few guys in the tournament that probably can host the Suffolk County Football Championship and the Suffolk County Wrestling Championship as the senior year. It's a great way to go out.
Hey, it's great to have you back. Bobby Panarello is back with us. You're wearing a couple different hats tonight out here, right? You're doing the Islip Athletic Director. You're helping out with all the wrestling, with the awards. You're doing it all. You're the do-it-all broadcast guy today, Bob.
Well, I don't know if that's what you call it, but...
I like it. I like it. You're doing yeoman's work. 160 pounds here. The 4th seed, John Capwell of Riverhead, against the 2 seed, Rob Parker of Northport. And guys, Rob Parker survived an unbelievable semifinal match against Jeff Pastore of Smithtown. A controversial ending. They win 5-4. He takes a 1-point victory. And I'll tell you what, he's got his hands full with John Capwell, who pinned the top seed, John Barone of Floyd, in the semifinals in 3:04.
This kid, John Capwell, is a stud from Riverhead. He's pinned all 3 kids he's wrestled so far. The ironic thing is, last year was the #1 seed, got pinned in the first round, was out of the tournament. This year he's the #4 seed, and now he's in the finals wrestling for that title.
Well, Andy, like you said, his strength is definitely on top. I've seen him on top, and he's got some great, great power halves, and he turned Barone with a power half to finish the match in the semifinals. He must be deceivingly strong. He's well built, but he's very aggressive on top.
He's very well coached by Rocky Davies, the head coach. John Connolly and Tommy Riccio assist him, and those guys have done a great job. And you know, Greg, we've talked about this, you've written about this, about Amityville and Riverhead, 2 of the top teams in the county right now. This is a revival of 40 years ago, going back to the early to mid-60s, when these 2 teams were the dominant powers in Suffolk.
2 seconds remain here in the first period at 160 pounds. John Capwell, who's pinned his way through the tournament against the 2 seed, Rob Parker of Northport. And that'll do it here in the first period. 0-0 after the first period. And Bobby, Capwell has done a great job. We've seen him pin 3 guys getting in here to the finals. Looks like he's got his hands full with Rob Parker.
Yes, he does. Rob Parker, he's very cautious on his feet. He's got some nice tie-ups. He's controlling the tie-ups. Capwell really can't get some movement. But again, like I said, his strength so far is on top. He hasn't had a chance to be there, but a nice reversal there. He looks like he's going to come out for 2. Northport, traditionally great mat wrestlers. We'll see how this comes out in the scramble.
Yeah, you have to give Al Ciccio, the Northport coach, a lot of credit. He's won, I think, 5 out of the last 6 league titles in League 2. He's done an outstanding job with that program.
And Bobby looked like he stepped over there. He's trying to get control. Capwell hanging in there, right?
Yeah, Capwell, doing a great job. He's got his leg extended, and like I said, Northport's great. They've been the last couple of years that I've been coaching. They're great on the mat. They're great with the leg rides, and they're real tough to score on. They got great mat position. You got it.
John Capwell on top with a 2-0 lead over Rob Parker of Northport. Capwell's had some tournament. He's turned in pins in 128, 455, and 304. The latter against John Barone of Floyd, the #1 seed, and Capwell poised for a Suffolk County championship. I'll tell you guys, he's a senior. He's 18 years old. He's 33-1, the League 3 champion. And there's Parker with a reversal. He ties the score at 2, 40 seconds remaining here in the second period. A little bit of a surprise, Bob. It looked like he made a little bit of a mistake there towards the end of the circle.
Yeah, well, Capwell kind of dropped his hips down, and then he did what they call, he lowered his hips down on the one side. He elevated over the top. He came out on top. He looked, that's what, like I said, the Northport style. They're great on the mat. You can't drop your hips because they'll step over.
A little shot of Rocky Davies, the Riverhead head coach over there, not pleased with the lack of concentration at the edge, and he gave up those 2 points, and now Parker back on top. 2-2, 25 seconds remaining here in the second period of this 160-pound weight class at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Rocky Davey, talking about him, he was a county champion in 1968 for Smithtown High School. The Davey family, Rocky's dad, his uncles, all outstanding coaches.
Here you got him riding that cross body ride. He's got only 3 seconds, so it looks like they're going to hold it right there and it'll break up. And now we start the third, all tied up.
After 2 periods, Capwell 2, Parker 2. They'll go into that third period And let's take a look at Rocky Davey in the corner. He's an intense individual, shouting instructions next to Tom Riccio, his assistant. And he's telling the Capwell kid, stay focused. This is a match you can win. Rocky's had a lot of tough matches here in this tournament. These kids have really come to wrestle. I know he expects a lot out of them. Capwell will start on top.
Chris Rayner, Aaron Tite, Micah Brown. These guys are all tough Riverhead wrestlers, and Rocky's done a great job with these guys.
Notice that he's going for that power half again, but again, rates that Parker's got that inside leg over. He's looking for that power half. I don't know, that's a tough situation to score.
Wow.
Guess he's got backs.
Oh,
Did he get
reversal
back?
for
No, he
Rob
gave no
Parker.
reversal.
No backs.
Capwell looking for the power half, and Parker steps over and turns it into a reversal and a 4-2 lead. He leads with 1:25 remaining here in the third period of this 160-pound weight class championship bout.
Here he's got that cross-body ride in again. Again, that wastes a lot of time. If you're not scoring, but you're looking aggressive in there, a lot of time you're going to waste by the time that he gets out on the bottom. He's going to ride him tight here, especially if he gets flat. He's not going to be getting called for stalling. He's going to keep him flat, and he's not going to be able to score.
Oh, that's a mistake. You don't reach back for the head like that.
Not especially with the leg. That sets up the guillotine. Nice. Yep. He's elevating here, looking for a Jacob hooks, but Capwell's got that hand, and he's not letting it go, but he's not going to score off that. They're going to call a stalemate, if anything.
45 seconds remain. 4-2 lead for Rob Parker. He's on top in the navy singlet. Navy and yellow on top of John Capwell of Riverhead, who's got the knee underneath, looking for two. And Parker looking to turn him right now for back points.
It's a dangerous situation here for Parker. I'd be happy with the stalemate here and staying here. The only thing that can happen here is he doesn't need the two, but he could get popped out. They call the stalemate there and let it up for a fresh start.
What you're looking at is Capwell popping his head out there and getting the 2 points on a reverse.
Correct. You know, the only thing is you can score another two. You may go up 6-2. However, the head pops out. Now you're all tied up again.
Capwell is free. 17 seconds left. 4-3 Parker lead. Capwell will push the action. Goes in for a single. He misses. Parker trying to spin behind. 6 seconds.
Parker just pushed him
Capwell
away.
looking for that takedown. He's not going to get it. Rob Parker, your 160-pound wrestling champion from Northport High School. Another tight match for Parker, and he seems to be able to win those.
Great match.
4-3 win. Two very aggressive wrestlers. And Bob, I like that match. Technically, well wrestled match by both guys.
Yeah, both guys had a game plan. They came in and, except Parker scored his points on the mat, which usually was, the Riverhead, Capwell, that was his forte throughout the whole tournament, scoring on top and pinning, and Parker beat him at his own game. It was a great match.
There he is, Rob Parker, the 160-pound champion from Northport High School, and he'll join our Paul Brodmerkel. Paul?
Listen, Rob, you were 6th place here last year, and now you're the champion. That's a big difference, huh?
I had to, for the whole season, I was basically going 152, the weight class below, and at the end I started to come back up because my coach thought it'd be a little better for me up here, and it turned out being a lot better.
It turned out to be the great decision. I know I spoke to Coach just prior to the finals about that, and he was really happy you made that decision, feels that you wrestle real well up a weight.
Yeah, I don't really wrestle that well, sucked out. It would have been close for me getting down that way anyway, Plus, I love eating.
Don't all wrestlers. Listen, Rob, I want to ask you a question about the finals match. 2 reversals, nothing on the feet. What was going on with that?
He was a real strong kid, fast on his feet. I couldn't really do much with him on his feet, but he started getting a little tired towards the end of the match and past this first period. And that's when I was able to get a little more points and come back into the match.
Well, you had a great match. Congratulations. Once again, Rob Parker, our 160-pound champion from Northport, and we'll be back here to the great wrestling action here at Stony Brook University in the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
That helps your doctor identify your disease even before it's visible through other imaging procedures and can change the way your doctor cares for you. BAB Radiology has offices in Huntington, East Northport, Hauppauge, Bayshore, Babylon, and Shirley. Our teams of radiologists are board certified and accept most insurances. For information regarding PET scanning or our open MRIs, please call 1-866-222-HELP.
This is science. This is technology. is perfection. This is the human body utilizing science and technology to achieve perfection. This is the Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center.
Call 737-2525. Strive to become all you can.
The decisive points here in the Parker-Capwell matchup. Bobby, take us through it.
Okay, here you got, notice that Capwell has that inside leg, and he's looking for a far half pry. Okay, here Parker reverses, let's go to the leg, comes out on top, a great reversal. He's either going to hold on to the leg and give up the 2. He releases the leg. It was great mat presence.
And that earns him the 160-pound championship here in Suffolk County.
And that was Al Ciccio's first county champion in his 13 years as the head coach.
Congratulations to Al, well deserved.
And there he is, Dr. Frank Segreto of Elite Sports Medicine, and he's made this entire thing possible. He, along with Telecare and Father Tom and Jerry Seckler and the Friends of Long Island Wrestling. Without people like that care about the student athletes out here in Nassau and Suffolk County, this would not be possible. Everybody should shout out to the doc and everything he does for Long Island Wrestling. And now we're getting ready for that 171-pound championship bout. Phil Archer of Floyd, he's had an outstanding season. He's the top seed. He's in the black and green singlet. Phil Archer will take on Tim Barnacle of Kings Park. He's unseeded, but he's had an outstanding tournament as they get going here 13 seconds into the first period. Bobby, Phil Archer has been unbeatable this year.
Well, like you said, he's both of these guys are long and lean. They got that long body type, very aggressive. He's a great counter wrestler on his feet, too. If you come in on a single leg, he right away goes to the switch. He's got it down. He's got a great single. He comes off an arm drag. On top, he's deadly with the overhead cradle. He's just a tough all-around guy to beat. I saw him earlier this year. He was having a great match with a guy named Panarelli from Farmingdale. He was down in the match. 6-zip. He came up, locked him up, and pinned him. That could be a rematch in Syracuse in the finals. Barnacle, though, he's a competitor. He's going to be, he's out there to win. He's not out there to keep it close. He's going to go out and try to, end it early also.
Phil Archer, 30-0, a 3-time League One champ.
We've talked about this time and time again with this great cradle. His father, Larry Archer, was a conference champion for Brentwood Ross in 1977. He was a great cradle guy. And Phil comes from a great wrestling family. He's an outstanding student and an outstanding kid.
1 minute remaining here in the first period.
Great elbow pass. Nice shrug coming up. He's in what they call a Merkel situation here.
Archer takes a 2-0 lead, as described by Bob Panarello, our wrestling expert. Bobby, nice job.
Here he goes for that cradle. He came off on the side. He's looking to lock that up. He's got a strange way to set it. He sets it up. He can call what they call square in the head on that, and he either got two choices. You're going to keep flattening it out, okay, and he's just going to keep pulling the head in and dragging the knee up. You'll see, and he tries to lock it up at the knee. As he goes coming through the crotch, you'll notice that he tries to either come over the top or lock it up again.
Two 18-year-old seniors battling here for the 171-pound weight class. Tim Barnacle of Kings Park, 32-5, 3 times All-League. He escapes, and he trails 2-1 here with 10 seconds remaining in the first period. He is a Section 11 finalist for the first time, and I'll tell you what, 2 more points for Phil Archer. He wasted no time putting a little distance between him and Tim Barnacle.
He came up, score. He spun right around again, and once you padlock that back ankle, they're going to award the 2.
Got to give a lot of credit to Jack Mignani. That's Tom Mignani's uncle. Jack Mignani and Mike Milletta, the Kings Park coaches. They've done an outstanding program. They've developed some real good kids in the 3 years that they've been there together.
Guys, we haven't seen many pins. The first 2 bouts ended in a pin. 1 technical fall. Actually, we didn't even get the technical fall. Steve Romano won 23-10 to win the county title at 125 pounds for Hills East. But since then, it's been all by decision.
He's got the cradle locked up here now. Okay, Barnacle did an inside leg stand-up. Got cradled up. We'll see how Archer can finish it off.
That looks like it hurts. You can see
he's
trying to survive there.
He's trying to crowd that leg up, and if he can, he's going to step behind the leg in what they call a wind-up cradle. And wind-up cradle is very tight. Here he's going to try to drive Moby, stepping through. He's got to spread the knee, clear that inside leg. If he can clear that inside shoulder down on his inside, Barnacle he's in great position himself here. If he pushes through, he might be able to get the reversal. There you go.
And that's what you were talking about in the bout prior to this, when you were saying Capwell and Parker had himself in a dangerous position. Archer just did the same thing.
Absolutely. There's a fine line where you can, what they call an over-aggressive move. You get too greedy, too quick. You kind of force the action a little bit, and the guy can pop up on top.
Barnacle pulls out of the near fall situation and cuts the deficit to 6-3. And now there'll be a timeout, a cut on the head of Phil Archer, and he'll be tended to by one of the athletic trainers from Hop Hog, helping out the Floyd staff, Terry Phelan and Tony Mecca.
Yeah, that trainer Dave Smith, he's been helping out the Section 11 team, and he does a great job, absolutely.
This is what they wrote about Newsday today, about the rent-a-trainers. They should be, everybody at every school should have their own trainer full-time. It's important for the student athletes.
It's important for the safety.
Yeah, boy, it is important for the safety, I agree, but it's also, it's a big financial commitment for the school, but, safety first.
Spoken like a true athletic director. Budget, 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 right, Bob?
That's what I'm told.
Well, you know what it is? It's a safety issue that I'm sure that all the sectional people are looking at, and you'll have an AD's meeting. I'm sure they'll be looking at things of that nature, as I'm sure they've looked at defibrillators over the last few years.
Absolutely. That's was new December 1st, where the AEDs were installed in all the schools, and it's something that could save lives, and it's well worth it.
1:02 remaining in the second period. False start. Caution against Phil Archer. He leads 6-3. The undefeated Phil Archer, 30-0 at Floyd High School. He's trying to get out now for Tim Barnacle.
Yeah, Barnacle's a gamer on top. He's in good position here. As long as he keeps his hips up so he doesn't get stepped over. He's looking for a near side tilt with that arm, but I don't know what we're going to get here.
It's hard to turn that kid in that position like that. He's so long.
Archer working his way off the mat. 25 seconds left here in the second period. He leads 6-3 in the 171-pound weight class of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. These championships are brought to you by Dowling College, BAB Radiology. There are multiple sites in Nassau and Suffolk, and Nassau Community College, where they're holding the Nassau County Wrestling Championships.
There's a mistake by Barnacle. He dropped his hips, he got stepped over.
Archer taking the 8-3 lead with 15 seconds left here in the second period, and now he's got the cradle, and there he goes.
He's got that deadly cradle. He went with the crossface this time, cranked it up pretty good.
Referee Kenny Sullen right on it, Bob. And that'll do it here in the second period. 3 points for Phil Archer, and he'll take an 11-3 lead after 2 periods. We're going to take a look at those last few points in the near fall situation, and Bob, tell us what's happening.
Okay, well here you see Barnacle. He gets a little, his hips drop down, he gets a little sloppy in that position. Archer steps over, and right away he comes with a right-hand crossface. Here's what they call a Navy ride. He tries to jerk it up, but once he goes flat, he'll jump right over to the right-hand crossface. Okay, he'll jam up the opposite elbow. Okay, right there, crossface, locks it up. From here, he's going to go jump to the near side and crank him right back over over the right shoulder here. He's trying to post out. He pulls it back. The inside shoulder's up on top of him. He won't record the pin, but he does get the 3 near fall points.
Big move at the end of the second period afforded Archer an 11-3 lead, and Andy Slauson. Archer continues to score here early in the third period. 1:35 left. He leads 13-3.
He chose neutral, and right away Barnacle went after him, shot in. Archer countered well, took him down, and now he has that commanding lead.
13-3, a stoppage in the action. Phil Archer being tended to again by Dave Smith, the Hop Hog trainer, in the Floyd corner for a gash on his forehead. Kings Park coaching staff giving Tim Barnacle some information that may help him produce like an amazing pin. Well, no, Andy, it can't happen.
Oh, anything can happen. That's why you wrestle the matches.
That's for sure. What he's doing now, it's now what they call is desperation time. He doesn't have enough time to point himself back 2 at a time. He's got to get some big 5. He's got to go for the fall. So he's going to be going through some desperation move here.
Now Barnacle's a big kid, and he doesn't get to the finals by just beating anybody. He beat Ravon Taylor of John Glenn in the semifinals. Taylor with the big win over Gavin Farrell of Bay Shore. Barnacle did a good job coming out. He beat Axel Ayala of Bellport, the 2 seed, just to get out of that first round and get to the quarterfinals. And he's had some tournament.
He's wrestled outstanding. And if you look at Barnacle's back, Tim's back is covered with blood right now from that gash on the
There you go,
forehead.
Archer. He's got that
of
reverse
Archer.
half on there. He's going to throw those double grapes, and if he gets those double grapes and posts on that hand, there you go.
Phil Archer, a pin.
Ends it in style.
An unbelievable turn of events here in the third period. Phil Archer having an outstanding season, and he goes one more, the 171-pound champion, and he pins Tim Barnacle in 4:51. And Bobby, you just knew at some point he was going to be able to pull that off. Phil Archer, a pinning machine.
Well, like you said, he is a pinner. He doesn't stop. He doesn't want to win by points. He's a pinner by nature, and he goes for it at all times. Secured that beautiful step over. Once you throw those double grapes in, there's not much chance of surviving that.
And there you have it, Phil Archer, the 171-pound champion here in the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University. A pin in 4:51 over Kings Park's Tim Barnacle. And Phil Archer is with our Paul Broadmerkel. Paul?
Phil, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
Now, last year you were a runner-up. This year you're the champion. Want to comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, it was a tough loss. I had beaten Sfor, a real tough kid, but I'd beaten him in the leagues the week before. I got a tough loss, but it was just a motivating factor for this year. Put in a good off season, and that's where I am.
Well, you had a fabulous year this year. You were 27-0 in dual meet competition, and I understand you had 25 major pins or major decisions in those victories.
Yeah, it was a great year.
Now let me ask you a question. How much did John Barone contribute to being your workout partner to this victory?
I can't say enough about John Barone. He had a tough loss today. He should be here with me, but he was such a great friend and workout partner. We work together every day. He's got such a bright future in front of him. I can't wait to watch him win the counties next year.
Now I know who's your biggest fan. Who is your biggest fan?
My dad, for sure.
One question. Can you take your dad down yet?
I can take him down, maybe, but beat him, I don't think so. He's a tough guy.
Well, let's talk about the finals match here. It took you a little while to get your cradle working. What was going on with that?
No, Barnacle was a tough kid, and he was probably well scouted against me, and he wrestled a good match. That's all I can say, really.
Now, when you got the double grapevine in, did you know he was going to be pinned right there? Did you have him clamped right away?
At first, I was going for the cradle, and as he adjusted, I adjusted, and I had to adjust with the arms, and I made some adjustments, but once I locked around his head, I was pretty confident that I was going to get the pin.
Phil, you had a great tournament. Congratulations. Phil Archer, 171-pound county champion from William Floyd.
Thank you.
Phil, good luck at the stage.
Thank you.
We are the Long Island Institute of Professional Studies. As an affiliate of Brooklyn College, we are able to offer more than 20 graduate courses for teachers. We are approved by the New York State Education Department to offer courses to athletic coaches that meet requirements for certification and licensing. Our staff of nearly 50 instructors provide teachers with courses that are accepted in nearly 100 school districts on Long Island and New York City. We have centers in Smithtown, Riverhead, and Nassau County. Practice what you teach. Never stop learning. Call 631-289-5200.
We're back at Stony Brook University. Greg Sarah of Newsday here with Bob Panarello of Islip and Dr. Frank Segreto of Elite Sports Medicine. And Doc, it's all about the Dr. Robert Fallett Memorial Wrestling Championships, and he's had so much to do with what's happened here in Suffolk County Wrestling and across the country.
Doc Fallett was a great guy. His wife was a wonderful woman. He introduced me to everybody in this wrestling community. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Doc. I always like to say that and bring that up and let people know that. He was a great man, great doctor. We owe a lot to him.
I had the pleasure of meeting Doc Fallett a few times here at the championships. He was always a pleasant person. He was always very concerned for the kids, student athletes, and he was very involved in the community. And like Jack Mahoney told me, it was more about family for Doc Fallett than it was about being a business. He wasn't really concerned with making money. He was concerned about the welfare of the wrestlers, and I find that to be a real good thing.
Absolutely. He was a true friend of the community. You can't say how much he and his wife did. Great people. It's an honor to have known them.
Back to the action at 189 pounds, the championship bout between Jack Sullivan of Huntington. Jack Sullivan beating #1 seed Frank Wolf of North Babylon in the semifinals 4-2, and Nick Augusta. Nick Augusta of Northport, the 3 seed. He was the 4-2 overtime winner of Tommy Gosweiler of Sachem. And Bobby, it's 2-0 Sullivan right away here in the first period.
Yeah, Sullivan was aggressive. He started off with a great single, took Augusta right down, and he's on top. Sullivan only a 10th grader. He's got quite a physique on him, and I'm sure Coach Gianni's got great plans for him, and he's going to be one of the great ones for him at the heavyweight in the heavyweight category.
Sullivan working on top of Nick Augusta. 1 minute left here in the first period. Sullivan leads 2-0 at 189 pounds. We'd like to thank all of the work from our friends at Bosie's, Dan Brenner and Joe Kelly and all the students that have come out, and they work the cameras and they work all the video and do other things for the wrestling shows that are produced by Elite Sports. They've done a fantastic job, and at the same time they're learning how to break into the broadcast field.
That's right, Greg. That's why I said we're breaking ground tonight. We're accomplishing quite a bit.
Great fellas, still good. Okay, you notice Augusta, he's like I said, we talked earlier about the Northport mat presence. On the mat, they got great hips, they know where they're at all times. Ran out of room there, and Sullivan very tough on top. He's riding an aggressive 2-on-1.
Nick Augusta on bottom. He trails 2-0. 35 seconds left here in the first period. Jack Sullivan, a 10th grader of Huntington, 31 wins, 2 losses. He's only 15 years old. He in the white singlet, the League 4 champion, coached by Lou Gianni, Mike Marinello, and Travis Smith. 15 seconds remaining.
10 seconds left. You don't want Sullivan here to get sloppy. He had a great first period, rode him well. He wants to keep his hips high. He doesn't want Augusta stepping over. He's trying to lull him down a little bit. Looks like the period will end 2-0.
And that'll do it here in the first period. Jack Sullivan of Huntington, he leads Nick Augusta of Northport 2-0. Augusta having a stellar season, 26 wins, 2 losses. 18 years old, a 12th grader out of Northport. He's coached by Al Ciccio, Rob Porta, and Thad Alberti. He is a League 2 champion 2 years running, and Augusta has his hands full with Jack Sullivan here in the finals of the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. And Bob, 2-0, not a lot of action in that first period. Sullivan took him down and pretty much controlled him the rest of the period.
Yeah, well, you see that Augusta here, he's trying that inside stand-up, and Sullivan, catching that near side arm. From here, he's going to his 2-on-1. He's coming out to the side. He's working it. He's looking for, get through the crotch. However, Augusta's trying to get him to drop his hips and do a step over again. You see him trying to reach back. He's trying to step over the backside. Typical match here. They're slowing it down a little bit. Very controlled at this point, but, they all both got a game plan.
Doc, I got to say, there wasn't many injuries in this tournament. You did treat 125-pound champion Steve Romano of Fair Follow Hills East earlier this season, and I know that was for some fluid in the ear, and that's something that Dr. Robert Fallon had started years ago. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Doc taught me how to treat cauliflower ear. Yeah, we've been blessed this season. We really haven't had no significant injuries with any of the people that I've seen. Romano has been coming for us with cauliflower ear. And, he's such a great kid, a class act. And that's what this is all about, wrestling. It's really a character builder for these young men. It really is. And that's one of the reasons that Telecare, I think, is interested in getting involved in this as well.
1:10 left here in the second period. 2-0. Jack Sullivan leads. He controls on top. Nick Augusta having a difficult time getting away. Tell you what, Augusta's a big kid too, right, Bob?
Yeah, he's very strong. He's a little more stocky than Sullivan. Like you said, he's got a different game plan. He's trying his little head spins here. He's trying to reach back. I know I don't think they're going to give him the 1 here. He was still on top, correct. I don't know if they met earlier in the Huntington tournament. I know Northport was in that tournament. Do you know if they met at all?
No, it doesn't say on the sheet, but I would have to believe that at some point these two guys may have wrestled. Sullivan with 2 losses, and I can check that in our records, but I don't believe they have met this season. Both wrestlers with 2 losses this year.
Sullivan's going to have to move up from the legs here, and he does. And Augusta here, he's going to have to let go of that leg. He's got 5 seconds, and I think you're going to see a stalling warning. Not letting it go and that go, and Sean Brockman's right on top of that.
Well, Brocking doesn't like when guys ride and don't work any moves or don't go off to the side and try anything. Brocking's going to be all over that. And if he does that for another 15 seconds, maybe even 10, he may hit him again.
Absolutely. There's a certain telltale signs of stalling, and like you said earlier, 4,500 people don't come here to watch people stall. They come here to watch people wrestle.
Yeah, you don't want to see someone hang on the leg. That's just not going to happen. Right now, Sullivan could be in trouble for a reverse if he's not careful.
Well, you see Augusta with the elevators again and reaching back, and Sullivan staying on the double. He's going to have to move up again, which he's going to.
stalemate, fellas. Red still on top.
Quick stalemate. Great call.
13 seconds remain here in the second period. Jack Sullivan of Huntington in the white singlet. He leads Nick Augusta of Northport 2-0 for the 189-pound weight class championship here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Quick start. Here you're gonna, this is favoring obviously Sullivan going into the third period. He's still up 2-0. Obviously he's gonna take the down position. Okay, look for that 1 point escape increase for 3, where he's gonna have to get taken down twice to, just to tie the match.
That's got to tell you a lot. He rode him out the entire 2 minutes of the second period. How strong Jack Sullivan is for a 15-year-old.
Absolutely. He's got some. He's put together, obviously, but especially for a 15-year-old.
2 minutes remain here in the third period of the 189 weight class at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. Jack Sullivan on bottom in the white singlet. He escapes and now leads 3-0 over Nick Augusta of Northport. Northport celebrating their first county champion for Coach Al Ciccio when Rob Parker captured the 160-pound weight class with a 4-3 decision over John Capwell of Riverhead.
Okay, there you see Sullivan. Obviously, he opens it up the lead with 5-0 with a quick escape on Augusta. What Augusta tried to do was a cross the body single, which usually is not a good technique, and Sullivan wound up holding on to the arm, okay, and doing a nice spin behind.
Red, get busy, man.
1:29 remaining. Jack Sullivan leads 5-1 in the 189-pound bout. In control all the way.
Augusta, nice shot. Sullivan, great hip squaring out. Good defense.
These Suffolk County Wrestling Championships, Bobby, they're brought to you by Long Island Institute for Professional Studies, Channel 55, A6, Dr. Passarelli and Long Island Eye, and of course, Stony Brook University and our colleagues over at Nassau Community College. They're hosting the Nassau County High School Championships over there. And I'm sure there's a couple of barn burners going over there in Nassau also, right?
Well, absolutely, and I'm sure if I had to guess, there'd be a couple of MacArthur guys involved in those finals.
Yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't forget a big sponsor of this tournament is Dowling College and the people over at BAB Radiology. They have multiple sites in Nassau and Suffolk.
Augusta's in on a single here on the edge, not enough room to complete it. We're going to go back to the middle with 46 seconds left, 5-1, Sullivan leading.
If you're Augusta, you have to push the action here and make something happen.
Well, you also have a stalling warning on Sullivan, but you're going to have to score more than a takedown here to win it. So you got to push the action, like you said, Greg. And there's his point. There's 5-2.
5-2 on the stall. Sullivan hit with a caution earlier for a warning for a stall earlier. Now banged for a point here late in the third period by referee Sean Brocky. And Sullivan looked up at the clock, and Augusta got in on the single. That's a mistake right there, and he may lose 2 points there, but they go out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds. You don't want to look at the clock, Greg. That's a telltale sign. You're waiting for things to end, and you got to keep wrestling.
23 seconds remain. I mean, one of the most heartbreaking losses of all time, and you were involved in it because your kid won, was a huge move by Little Tom Finity. Was that his name?
Yes, it was.
He beat Rohan Murphy.
Oh, there you see a headlock. There you see a headlock. Augusta's got him.
Oh, and that's a huge move.
He may secure the pin.
Oh, and he pulls off the pin.
Headlocked and pinned.
Nick Augusta, and we just talked about that. You cannot wait for the clock to run out. And Bobby, Sullivan controls the entire match to the final 20 seconds, and Augusta pulls off the huge move and pins him.
Well, it's a 6-minute match, Greg, and in 5 minutes and 50 seconds, Augusta hit what it took to win, and it's a devastating loss for Sullivan, but as a 10th grader, it's something he could build on.
That is an amazing ending to the 189-pound final here in Suffolk County. Nick Augusta of Northport with the big move, and he pins Jack Sullivan of Huntington at 5:50 to the delight and the dismay of this large crowd here at Stony Brook University. And Augusta can hardly believe it. He's overwhelmed at the sight of the mat. He cannot believe that he has just pulled it off, and he'll make the trip to Syracuse.
And again, congratulations to Al Ciccio. He picked a great night to have 2 champs.
Huge mistake by a young wrestler. Watch Jack Sullivan take a look at the clock with over 20 seconds remaining, looking for this to end. And this is something you don't do.
Yeah, here you see him. He got an elbow pass. He pushes it off, and there he glances for the clock. And that's a telltale sign that he's waiting for the clock to end. If he would have stayed aggressive like he did the whole match, it was very unlikely that would put himself in that position.
And Nick Augusta just pushes the action for the final 20 seconds, and boom, comes up with the huge pin. And he's with our Paul Brodmerkel right now. Nick Augusta, take it away, Paul.
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 189-pound champion, Nick Augusta from Northport. Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's it feel to join your teammate going upstate?
Feels great.
Now, Nick, you were sixth here last year. What's the difference between this year and last year in terms of training and preparation?
Over the summer, I was just working out real hard. I worked out for football, and I just built my strength up. I wasn't able to play football because I had a hernia. And then I came back when I was allowed to lift weights again. I got right back to the gym, built my strength back up, got my conditioning down. My coach just pushed me all the way.
Well, Coach was real pleased about your progress coming off your operation, and right now you're going to be heading to the state championships. But before we discuss the states, I'd like to ask you about that headlock in the finals.
I knew I needed something. I need 3 points to tie him. I figured just go up there, throw what I can, and hopefully I'll get lucky, put him to his back. Just get as many points as I can, just go hard.
Well, you were in on his legs 3 or 4 times for a takedown, but you couldn't finish the takedowns, and it wound up being real good because you wound up headlocking him and pinning him.
But he was a real strong kid. Every time I got a hold of his leg, he just overpowered it. He's a strong kid overall. He was a good wrestler. He tired me out, and I just went out there and just did what I had to do at the end.
Okay, congratulations to our 189-pound champion, Nick Augusta. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back here for the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University.
Nowhere in the nation is there a more active, productive organization in wrestling than on Long Island. The Friends of Long Island Wrestling, supporting Nassau and Suffolk County Wrestling, and sponsorship of the Stop DWI Junior Tournament, the Long Island Challenge, and a sponsor of the 28 Long Island wrestlers inducted into the National Hall of Fame.
Greg Sarah back here at Stony Brook University with Bob Panarello and Dr. Frank Segreto, and we just saw one of the most intense final 30 seconds of any bout, huh, Bob?
Yeah, like I said, that's there's 6-minute matches here, and an elation win over at the North corner and a devastating loss for the Huntington corner.
We're here in the 215-pound championship. Aludison Taylor, the #1 seed from Copeg. He has a record of 65-9. Aludison Taylor, 12th grader, 17 years old. And he's going against Brian McQuaid of Longwood, 50-8 in his career. He's 17 years old and also a 12th grader. Taylor with the 2-0 lead in the blue and white singlet. He's working McQuaid. He's green and black.
Taylor, very powerful, very powerful. Got the half in, got the cradle in. He's trying to clear that inside arm. See if he can get that headlock. He's got to try to clear it in. Once he gets it here, this could be it.
Aludison Taylor looking for the
under that elbow. If he can arch it up here, arch it up and head post. If he goes back to the other way, if McQuaid leans back, it could be over. Taylor's going to step over with the reverse half. He's going to look to secure that far elbow.
Brian McQuaid trying to survive there on the bottom as Aludison Taylor applying the pressure, looking for the first period pin. John Trusello in on the action, and it's over.
And it's over. He calls the pin.
Pinned him in 1:09 of the first period.
Taylor secures the county championship, and he came out early. He came out aggressive. He went over the top, and he made it work.
#1 seed. #1 seed. What a great job, Bob. Are you surprised by his aggressiveness?
Not really. He was coming out to win. He's been close before, and I'd like to say congratulations to his coach, Paul Harvey. That's his first county champion at Copeg. And the Copeg staff is very elated over there, and we look forward to watching him upstate.
We're going to check out that takedown of Aludison Taylor. And Bob, tell us what's happening.
Okay, well, here he's riding what they call a near side head lever. Okay, and what he does is he steps up. McQuaid steps up. Aludison Taylor's going to come out to the side, comes up the crotch, and right here, when he goes to lift, McQuaid will drop down, and he comes over with the top hand, comes over the top, almost in a cradle position, secures the half, and drives it to his back right here. Okay, he's trying to clear that inside arm. He can't catch it, so what he's going to do is he's going to jump to the other side, and this is what as he jumps over the top, it's called a reverse half, and once you're in that position, it's tough to get out of.
Aludison Taylor, the 215-pound wrestling champion here in Suffolk County, and he's with Paul Brodmerkel. Paul?
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 215-pound champion, Aludison Taylor from Copeg. Aludison, how you feeling?
Feeling great, sir. Feeling great.
Now, last year you were third here, and this year you're the champion. Did you do anything special to prepare for this year?
Trained all summer, trained all year as hard as I could, sir.
You know, Coach Harvey told me back in January at the Lyndhurst tournament that you were going to be the county champion. Did you believe it back then?
Yes, sir. Every day I thought about it.
You had 4 pins. Outstanding tournament. This pin in the finals, what did you do with that?
Went as hard as I could and I just wrestled, sir. Everything worked out fine.
Well, you had a great tournament. Good luck at the state championships in 2 weeks up at Syracuse, and congratulations. Once again, Aludison Taylor, our 215-pound champion from Copeg.
I'd just like to thank all my coaches. I'd like to thank God first, my mother and father for creating me. I'd like to thank all my coaches, Coach Harvey, Coach Ryan, Coach Sip, the whole Mignani family, everybody from League 3 and Section 11 for giving me good competition to get this far. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, we'll be right back to more outstanding wrestling here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships at Stony Brook University.
A lot of my friends were talking about going away to school, so I thought I should too. But then I found out about the School of Arts and Sciences at Dowling. Classes are small, and I get the kind of well-rounded practical education that can take me anywhere I want to go. And right now, I better go get started on my sketches.
Discover why your success is right here at Dowling.
Visit our college-wide open house November 3rd. Call 1-800-DOWLING for more information.
Greg Sarah back at Stony Brook University with my colleagues Andy Slauson of Newsday and Bob Panarello of Islip. And Andy, what an unbelievable turn of events. The last 2 matches, Aludison Taylor in a first period pin over the second seed, Ryan McQuaid. And how about Nick Augusta of Northport, flat back in Jack Sullivan of Huntington, to the surprise of everybody. Because if you weren't watching, you didn't see it, right, Bob?
That's correct.
What did I say before? That's why you wrestle 6 minutes and you wrestle hard till the final whistle blows.
Jack Sullivan
never give up.
Very, very tough lesson. Like Bob said, you don't look at the clock. You don't hope it's over before it's over. You wrestle till the whistle blows.
And again, Greg, you learn from experience. You know, that's happened to guys that you've coached for a lot of times, and you know, it's a lesson hard learned, but it's one mistake they only make once.
And that's a sophomore mistake.
This is Andy Slauson's class here, his favorite, 275. The big boys will go with Greg Casarone of Smithtown, the #1 seed, and Anthony Montemorano of Connecticut, the 3 seed. 2 big guys
Well, you
getting
see
it
them
on.
in the clinch. Something's going to go. Somebody's going to go here, Andy. When it does, it usually ends in a disaster. Great counter, but he's still
I wouldn't
not
say
out
that.
Out of position.
Casarone telling me he's a judo guy. He wrestles for fun, and he goes out there and just
and
gives
this
it his
could be
all.
it.
Guess what? He could be done in under a minute. Quick work. Done.
He's got it.
Greg Casarone from Smithtown, the 275-pound champion in 39 seconds. It didn't take him long. He's having a lot of fun out there, the Smithtown kid. And Anthony Montemorano has made short work out of him from Connecticut. It's over. 39 seconds. Greg Casarone, your 275-pound champion here in Suffolk County at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championships.
Great body lock.
And we're going to check that pin out again. Look at the body lock, Bob.
Okay, well, you know, when I said the big boys, when they lock up in the clinch, he's got a great body lock. He'd rather be underneath than the overs here. He knocks him out of position. And once you're in this position, it's very difficult to get off. He tries to come in a half. He keeps that arm trapped on the back. He's going to pull it back and come with a reverse half. Gets that far arm, and it's only a matter of time here before he locks it up, secures the pin.
Great balance by Greg Casarone. Very strong. Takes Montemorano down on the mat. And boom, it's over. Greg Casarone, your 275-pound Suffolk County Wrestling Champion. There he is. Big smile. He didn't work up a sweat.
Oh, he's such a happy-go-lucky
He really
kid.
is. What a great kid.
And I would not call that a disaster, Bobby. I think that's 2 great athletes going at it and having some fun.
You got it, Andy.
That'll do it for the 275-pound weight class. Greg Casarone, your champion here in Suffolk County of Smithtown. He's going to join our Paul Brodmerkel. Paul, take it away.
Thanks, guys. We're here with our 275-pound champion, Greg Casarone from Smithtown. Greg, how you feeling?
Great. It took me 4 years to get here. Made it, though.
Well, you were 3rd last year, and obviously you're the champion this year. You had a great tournament. 4 pins, am I correct?
3. I had
3
1.
pins.
One match went 6-2, I believe. In the
That's
semis.
correct. The semifinals was a 6-2. Now, your nickname is Bubba, huh?
Yeah. You don't want to know.
Okay. Well, everybody on your team absolutely loves you. You're the most popular guy on the team, from what I understand. Coach Cummings told me that you're a really, really hard worker in the room.
Yeah, well, I have everybody. I have guys coming down, the Forrest brothers from St. John, former state champions, Mr. Lucas, a judo expert, Charlie Ryder. I always have Coach Davey coming down, my middle school coach. I have everybody.
Well, you know, one of the things that some of the coaches are saying around here, it's been many years since we've had a heavyweight that has great feet work like you have. You work real hard in practice on your takedowns and your slick drills?
Well, I have Mr. Lucas always coming down. He's teaching me stuff, shrugs, duck unders. Not great on shots yet, still working on that. Got 2 weeks till states. Hopefully I can get some of that done, huh?
That'd be terrific. Back to you guys in the booth.
What an outstanding Suffolk County Wrestling Championships. It ended in unique fashion. A big pin by the big man, Greg Casarone. And Andy, I know you love that.
It was an awesome display of power by Greg Casarone. We've seen a great tournament, great champions, and we have a pretty good team going to Syracuse in 2 weeks, Greg.
And they'll be there to defend the Suffolk County Championship. They won it the last few years. And Bob Panarello, we saw some outstanding action today. What were your thoughts?
Well, you know, as always, Greg, you know, when you wrestle this tournament, there's a lot of things that can happen. And as usual, a lot of things did happen. The unexpected happened, and, you know, some of the usual things happened, but you never know what you're going to get. For 6 minutes out there, it's anybody's ball game, and that's why the Section 11 tournament is probably the toughest tournament in New York State wrestling.
Bob, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Andy. You guys did a great job. Special thanks out to Telecare and Father Tom, Dr. Frank Segreto of Elite Sports Medicine, and of course the Friends of Long Island Wrestling and Jerry Seckler. Everybody did a great job here at the Suffolk County Wrestling Championship, including the students of BOCES Technical Schools. That'll be it. Suffolk County Wrestling Championships here at Stony Brook University.